Punchlines for January 23rd, 2026, the 368th day of the Sex Offender Administration. J.D. Vance used coarse language to reinforce Donald Trump's position that Democrats in Minneapolis are impeding ICE operations and have created an environment that breeds unruly protests. J.D. Vance said on Thursday that he will aim to, quote, turn down the chaos, close quote, and project calm in Minneapolis. Vance is projecting calm, if calm is for cruelty and lacking morality. The U.S. has officially completed its withdrawal from the World Health Organization, the Trump administration announced on Thursday. Instead of fighting disease, Trump has become the disease. In a 220 to 207 vote, the House narrowly passed $1.2 trillion in government funding Thursday, overcoming intense Democratic opposition to funding immigration and customs enforcement as the agency surges operations in Minneapolis and other cities. The federal government is the main reason blue states have the blues. House Republicans blocked a resolution in a tie vote, 215 to 215, on Thursday to limit the executive's war powers in Venezuela. The resolution would have directed the U.S. to remove any military presence from Venezuela. Trump is the anti-clause. Military presence are the only presence that he's giving. This has been a Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for January 23rd, 2026. The 368th day of the Sex Offender Administration. Join me live at the Church of Last Resort Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on MindDog TV.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Get some coffee in here, please.
Ooh, that's loud. What in the heck is going on over there? Every day it's something new.
And hot.
Oh, hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Yeah, my mom. Oh, a little dark. That's cool.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Dark and mysterious.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
I don't know what's going on anyway. One of our chickens is missing. I don't know. I don't know, they're not exactly snowbirds to begin with. Snowbirds. That was that. I get up later. Good morning, folks. It feels like a Friday. I'm not sure what day it is. Friday, January 20, I almost said July. January 23rd. 2026. Are you ready for the weekend? Are you ready for the snow? Are you ready for the blizzard? Are you ready for Armageddon? Whatever. So did you get your milk and bread? That's the thing. If I look a little weird to you, it's what else is new, right? But I lost my glasses yesterday, my round glasses. And here's the thing. And GD wanted me to say, here's the deal, but I didn't say, here's the deal. I said, here's the thing. So I'll keep my nickel. I have more round rim glasses than I could count, but I don't know where they are. And in the last month, I've lost 3 pair, but I still have more. But then I have ones like this that only have one eye, and I can't get the other eye lens to kind of go in there. So I did order some some new ones from the devil Jeff Bezos last night, and supposedly they'll be here tomorrow or something. So in the meantime, I got my little cat eye lenses that I hate, and it makes me extra grumpy. If you love guitars, you tuned into the right show. Well, maybe we're going to have a couple of guys who are responsible for a film called String Theory, which is all about guitars. It seems to me that they shot this entire film on Zoom. Now, Zoom is pretty much a StreamYard without a chat room, but it's got a gallery, so that is that. But we'll talk to them probably in the first hour. They should be here soon. And interesting, I think they're going to end up hating me. If you listen to this program, you know, even though I play guitar, I hate guitar. And even though I am recommending the movie, it's a good movie. I watched the movie. Good movie. Short, not that long. Even though I'm recommending the movie, I disagree with a lot of things that are said within the movie. And so they may end up hating me. You may end up hating me. Listen, to get on the back of the line, there's a long line there. One thing I want to talk about before we get started here is yesterday I had an opportunity to speak with a friend. Yes, I have a friend. Who said it? Yeah, I have a friend. Anyway, he's Iranian, and he's been home to Iran. He's got family. I know some of his family because I've done some work for them and stuff. Anyway, he is not death to America, Iranian type of guy. He is actually a Republican, America first, capitalist dude, very much into the markets and all this stuff, and loves America. So don't get, oh, well, you can't, whatever you're going to say. He's a good guy, even though he is a Republican, America first Republican. Probably voted for Trump. I don't know. He told me, he's been back there a couple of times to visit his family, that everything we see on the news about what's going on there is wrong. And it's not like he's on the side of the mullahs or any of this kind of stuff. He's just saying that's not happening there. There is some protesting going on, but the country is not, it's not teetering on the brink like you would think if you watch the news here. And to me, this is kind of a recurring thing. During COVID, we were hearing reports that Australia was having mass chaos and we heard actually a headline that said, and this was on major corporate news, Australia is crumbling. And the very night that I had that headline in front of my face, I was interviewing somebody in Australia, Brisbane. He said, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It seemed like every time we get these kind of reports about shit that's going on around the world, I'm talking to people there, and they're saying, it doesn't match reality. It's in a world where we have almost instant worldwide communication. Corporate news still has no problem with boldly lying to you about what's going on the ground. The reality that they present does not match the reality that is on the ground. It's something to think about. And you can't trust anybody these days. You can't. Anyway, you hear my voice? I want to cry. No, I don't know if you know this about my voice, but it's shot. So I'm going to play a dopey commercial so I can bring in a couple of guys who were in the back in the green room. Looks like, I don't know, maybe Ron got fired or something. I don't know what happened. He's here every day now. And listen, Friday we expect him here. But he's been here all week, just loitering. I think he just doesn't want to tell his wife that he got laid off. I think that's the problem. Anyway, let me play.
With humble East Coast beginnings in 2015, Daily High Club is the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and consumption accessories. If you're looking to elevate your smoking game to the next level, you're in the right place. With over 1 million top-quality smoking products sold, and with a growing base of over 10,000 monthly subscribers worldwide, we deliver the ultimate smoking experience. But Daily High Club is not just a retailer. We're lovers of the smoking scene ourselves, working with giants like Tommy Chong, Snoop Dogg, Chanel West Coast, and more. Ready to join the Daily High Club? Let our experts curate your collection with our awesome El Primo monthly subscription box, or grab one of our fun and unique pieces from our smoke shop. Click the link in the description below this video to get this party started now.
I don't know if you noticed about me, but I'm not only a member of the Daily High Club, I'm also the president. Good morning, folks. In the room with me now are the aforementioned laid-off Ron Kane, who doesn't want to tell his wife he's actually gotten the pink slip yet, and some guy with dreads who acts Jamaican, T.D. Fenderson. Good morning, T.D.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. If you're snowed in this weekend, you can binge watch all 118 episodes of the Church of Last Resort. That's 118 hours of programming. Or you can just watch the funny parts and be done in 1 hour. Go to MindDogTV.com/merch.
That's
all
an
the stuff that you don't need but ought to have. Support your local mercenaries and enjoy the suffering.
I love the Church of Last Resort. Don't get me wrong, but the funny part, half of it, more than half of it, is obituaries. Right, so
the first 23 minutes or so.
Oh, 12. All right, we got it down to a science.
And if you get tired of it, just Control-A delete, and you'll be okay.
Yeah, I noticed neither one of you guys have a guitar in the background of your show. I don't either. I used to. Remember, you
used to keep one like right there. You probably sold it for parts.
I sold so many guitars in the last 6 months. I can't even keep track. I don't know how many I sold, but yeah, I just had too many of them.
Well, I thought about that because in the documentary trailer it says that everybody plays guitar, has their guitars in the background, and I thought to myself, no, I deliberately hide my guitars because first of all, I didn't put them there so that people can see that I played guitar. They were there because I have no place else in my fucking office to put them, because that wall I use that wall for the church and I use that on a regular basis. So if I put my guitars over there, I got to move them out of the way every time.
Wait, you have a church in your house?
Well, on Sundays, church services
on Sundays
there.
Only.
Yeah, on Sundays on the church services over there. So the guitar, the keyboards, and everything is over there because I hate putting them away and taking them out, putting them away, taking them out. But then if I'm doing a Zoom thing, people see the guitars and the keyboards and they go, "Oh, you're a musician," and it takes away from what I want to talk about, which is whatever the Zoom thing is for.
Wow,
so
you're going to get me in trouble. You're going to get me in trouble already. Because having a guitar behind you does not mean you're a musician, in my view.
No, I don't look at it. I don't think.
No, but you said people assume you're a musician because
right.
They figured, you know what? You talk to stupid people.
I don't think I'm good enough to be considered a musician. So I play guitar, but also play keyboards. I play bass. I play drums. I play, different instruments, but I'm not a musician because I'm not good enough to be called a musician. To me, guitar is a tool. It's something I use to communicate something, but I'm not very good at it communicating. Otherwise,
like a vibrator, essentially.
Yeah, it's a tool.
It brings joy to everyone involved.
Well, I wouldn't say that because my guitar playing doesn't bring joy to everyone involved.
You probably got the wrong toy then.
No, I got the wrong fingers. The fingers I had 20 years ago could do that. These fingers
I'm all
are
thumbs
arthritic.
now.
These fingers are arthritic.
Yeah.
So they're frustrating.
Arthritic.
Yeah.
That's like what is I think a quarter arthritis down by from the roll of a Beethoven thing, right? Or something.
Well, arthritic is kind of like mathritic.
Arthur.
But it's
you got it from Arthur.
Yeah. But when you're arthritic, you're not using variables, and in mathritic you are.
All right. Ron, you got canned, didn't you? You got canned.
No, not yet.
Not yet. After this week, Monday.
My wife asked me that. My wife did ask me that. She says, Does Ron still have a job? I said, as far as I know.
Yes, I still have a job. And I'll probably be here Monday too, because I'm
not telling my wife that because she's.
I don't expect to go to work on Monday with all the snow we're supposed to get.
The snow.
My wife works from home and she can't do anything like this. Yeah. If she's pissed at you, Ron. She's really on the verge of hating you. I mean, she's so close to hating you. I mean,
So the snow.
Closer. She's this much closer to hating you than she was.
All right,
yesterday.
shut up. Let me talk about the snow. The snow is pretty. When does it snow? Because I'm getting conflicting reports. Some people say snow's going to start in 5 minutes. Some people say the snow's going to start Sunday night.
Depends on where you are.
Even my local reports, I'm getting it's
okay.
either going to snow in 5 minutes or Sunday night, or any time in between there.
Here in PA, it's Saturday after midnight.
And you guys are going to get 19 inches?
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah,
my wife gets 6.5 on a regular basis, so she's not.
And then it snows after that. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what I'm going to get, but I got milk and bread. Are you happy for me?
The snow did not cause the argument with my wife and I. My wife caused the argument. She just used the snow as an excuse.
Yeah, I'm out of coffee.
My snow thrower is not working. My snow thrower is not working, and I found out at the last snow we had, and I went to start it up. It worked before. It's not working now. So, and my wife says, "Why didn't you test it?" I went, "It worked last time. I don't test the snow thrower every day. I test it. My test is when it snows, I start it up and go. I make sure it works." Yeah.
I appreciate your philosophy there. But that philosophy in a lot of things has gotten me into some bad spots. Like my PA system, I assume it worked on the gig. I don't have to test it till I have a gig tomorrow, whatever, bring it. It worked yesterday, and then you get to the gig, and all of a sudden something's wrong, and then you're like, "Oh fuck, what do I do now?"
Like with my guitars and my guitars, whenever I have a show, I test everything before the show. I want to make sure that everything is working. My snow thrower that's a different thing.
Yeah, but what if you get this thing with me is I brought the PA, got there, tested it, and it didn't work. And now what do I got to drive home and get another PA? What am I going to do? When you find out on the job, it's not necessarily a good thing.
No,
anyway,
no. So my snow thrower didn't.
Oh, we don't care about your snow shower.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Go throw some snow.
Yeah. So what family pets are you looking forward to eating this weekend?
Well, the black chicken has disappeared, and my wife.
The black chicken disappeared a long time ago, Matt.
No. The black chicken was home yesterday. And you
never told us it came back. You told us when it left. You never told us it came back.
I told you she found it up in the tree. Remember that she found it all the way up in the tree. Anyway,
that was the black one. Okay.
Yeah. So she was like, "We got to bring him in the house and make a pet out." You can't bring a chicken in the house.
No.
And like create a litter box for a chicken.
No, they don't use litter boxes. I mean, they're smart. They can be trained, but if you don't know how to train a chicken, you're just going to be fighting with it.
And then you get eggs and shit in the same box, right? Or whatever.
Or maybe you just but they like to hide their eggs. So you could lay your head down on your pillow and find that the chicken laid its egg and hid it under your pillow.
The black chicken, let me just, all black chickens matter, but the black chicken is fucking aggressive as hell, man. He just pecks away like a mean chicken.
Wait a minute. When you say he's fucking aggressive, is aggressive one of the other chickens? Or
it's just a Brooklyn thing. Fucking just.
Is he a rooster? Is that why he's so mean?
No, you can't get a rooster. No, if it was a rooster, he'd be dead because he'd be getting people up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then it would not take long to get rid of them. Anyway, so there's some drama going on with a chicken missing, and I blame one of the dogs, and you can't blame a dog really. It's a dog's nature to just chew up a chicken.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and it's also the nature of black people as well to chew up a chicken. So
I never had a black person peck at me when I was just sitting there smoking a doobie on the lawn.
I was supposed to pecking at you when we were in New York.
I know. Well, that's why I sent you to Maryland to get the. Anyway,
I guess we should bring the guests in because
I want to do that. The problem is I lost my glasses and I got these, and I can't read with these glasses. Randy Levin and Jared Bellucci. Now, what kind of Italian person names a kid Jared? Come on, that's not an Italian name. Wait. Oh, am I wrong about that? Anyway,
maybe it's short for something.
They became friends when Randy got cast in a commercial that Jared was producing, and I'm just saying, what, did he not have my number? I mean, come on. If you're gonna cast somebody in a commercial, shouldn't it be me, right? Anyway,
what's the commercial for?
Maybe for like
doesn't
prostate
matter.
exams.
I could sell anything, right?
Like prostate exams and things like that.
Yes.
No, Matt, you don't have that sunshiny personality to sell anything. You can sell things like, okay, do you want Cologuard? Get Cologuard. Otherwise, you got somebody up your ass all day long. You know, I can see. Yeah, you don't. What's that?
Flomax. I would be good for a Flomax commercial, right?
Only because you're pissed all the time.
Yeah, but that commercial, Matt has to be shitting in a box for the colon one.
The chicken is in the box.
That's the only way it works.
All right. So Randy and Jared met during the filming of this commercial, and they fell in love over guitars, and they're going to end up hating me, even though I am totally endorsing their movie. It's a must-see movie. If you love guitars, or if you're like me, you hate guitars, it's a must-see movie. And they got some people in this movie that, first of all, surprised the hell out of me that they're in this movie. But I'm impressed with their ability. Some of Tyler from Music Is Win, they got him in there. I've been trying to get him to do this show for forever. So they're very good at getting people on and talking about this instrument, even though I'm sure they're both going to hate me because I am endorsing the film. I think it's a great film, great piece of work. But I disagree with so much that's been said in the movie. So let's give them a chance to start to hate me right now, right here and now. Let's first of all welcome in Randy and Jared. Good morning, folks.
Good morning. Listen, I got to start the conversation by saying I'm going to tell you exactly what kind of an Italian names their kid Jarrett.
Okay.
Okay, with Bellucci, an Italian guy who didn't want an ethnic name, so it's not. Not Jarrett, because my father's name was Carmine.
Oh yeah, there you go, Carmine.
So he was reversing it, you know.
Yeah.
So
the weird part is who names their kid Randy Levin? Italian people.
Yeah, I'm Irish. You know.
Go figure.
No, I'm not Irish.
Yeah. Anyway, great work. I watched the film. Very enjoyable film.
Apparently not. You didn't like. You just said you.
No, I disagree. Not with.
No, he doesn't hate the film. He just disagrees with it.
Let me tell you a couple of things that I disagree with. Tyler, I can't think of Tyler's last name.
Larson.
Tyler Larson.
He says guitar is the most expressive instrument. No.
Sure. Hey man, if these are your disagreements, then I'm fine with them.
Yeah, listen. Obviously, if somebody is passionate about, look, I'm a huge Billy Joel fan. I love Billy Joel. Plays the piano. That for him is the most expressive instrument. So,
but he's wrong. He's wrong. It's violin,
and that's what I was going to say. Violin, and we never agree on anything. That's.
I'll tell you what. Give us the budget, and we'll do. Violin obsessed.
String theory too.
If you're gonna do string theory too, I'm upset that I'm not in this movie. I know I'm not like all that famous, but I would have thought somebody said because so many guitar players know this. I play guitar because I play it. It's the instrument I'm most comfortable with. But I feel like there's way too many guitars. Like there's enough guitars that we could probably use that wood to build homeless shelters for everybody. And
stay away from my Martins.
I have the same Martin as you, so
cool. JD said something before when we were back in the waiting room. People that are listening to the show, watching the show, it's a beautiful waiting room back here. They got a wet bar, and massage girls. It's great.
Why aren't we shooting from there?
So you have fresh coffee there because I need a fresh coffee.
You know, I don't know if you just saw the trailer. I don't know if you saw the movie, but JD, part of it is, and you said this about yourself. I don't consider myself a musician. Jared doesn't either, and that's part of the beauty of this instrument. The passion is just playing it. It's like I equate this a lot with golf. I'm not a golfer. I'm bored by golf. I'm not a golf guy. But if you think about golf, 99.9% of golf players suck, but they're obsessed. Same with guitar. I mean, compared to like Clapton or I mean, Slash, I mean, I might as well just chop off my hands, but it's the love of doing something for the love of doing it, period.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally 100% agree with you. But I'm going to say this is my problem with guitar. And the reason I was saying somebody probably should have told you about me, because I have gotten guitar hate for saying there are too many guitar solos. Like we got to a point where every song had to have a guitar solo in it. Like, doesn't anybody own a kazoo or a saxophone or sousaphone, anything but a guitar solo there?
Well, listen, you know what my theory on that is, to be honest with you, we talk about this in the film. Nothing says rock star like being a fucking rock star. And I don't give a shit what fucking, the exception of Elton John and Billy Joel, the electric guitar is the most badass instrument. It might not be the most musical, like you said, the violin or whatever. There's so many classical instruments, but nothing makes you feel more amazing than an electric guitar around your.
It's not. I'm gonna agree with you and kind of disagree at the same time. My great nephew is a musician.
Not great,
and he's not great, but he's great. He's great enough. So when he was about 7 years old, I let him play my guitar. He saw my guitar in the corner. He goes, "Can I play it?" I said, "Sure." So I gave him the full rig, hooked it up, all my pedals, the amplifier, and his dad sat in the corner and watched him. And with all this joy, he just made all this noise with the pedals and the wah-wah and the fuzz and all this distortion, the echo. And he was so happy, just not making any sense whatsoever. Never seen him so happy in his life. And his father's going, "Oh my God, he's so happy. He has no idea that he's just making noise." Now, for me, that's annoying. I mean, really annoying. But so annoying in the sense that, like, I don't like guitar solos like Matt says. One of my songs, we put a French horn solo in there just so that we wouldn't have a guitar solo.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but
Matt.
it's like 80s shit. Listen, at the end of the day, guys, I'm right. Kenny G, all these people who play other wind instruments, I don't care how fucking much of a rock star you are. You're not a bigger rock star than Keith fucking Richards with a guitar playing on the stage. End the story, gentlemen. End the story.
Hold on. I agree with you on. I agree with you on the position of you holding the guitar makes you feel more powerful, but nobody gets more blowjobs than saxophone players. And I've been in enough bands to see that happen over and over. The sax guy, if the sax guy could be ugly as shit and get like the hottest women.
Right. Same with the guitar player. Same with any musician
sax gets more.
Who has pure talent. Talent makes you better looking. That's what they talk about.
That's true. If you're a good harmonica player, you're going to get more action than a lousy bass player or a lousy guitar player.
I also think, like with your nephew and the idea of solo. So what's interesting is Jared and I approach guitar totally differently. I love my acoustic. I'm totally chill if I'm just playing like Blackbird or some like kind of thing, or even like I could play Led Zeppelin on the acoustic, but just like mellow in a way. Jared knows the pentatonic scales backwards and forwards. He's amazing. So what he does is he puts on backing tracks, puts on his headphones so his wife doesn't throw him out of the house, and he'll just shred that fretboard apart. And for him, that is incredibly meditative. Right. You know what I mean? So it might be these crazy solos, but that's what
your nephew, who was banging and making noise to you, was just as satisfied as me making noise to my wife.
He was so satisfied. He was so, as a matter of fact, when he was done, he says, "Uncle Glenn, that's the best time I've ever had."
What does that say that about the oboe?
You can't because
here.
Garrett,
your wife needs to take lessons from my wife on how to throw your husband out wearing headphones, because my wife is very good at throwing me out even with headphones.
Now that nephew is a sax. He's a classical. I shouldn't say classical because saxophones aren't in the classical. They're not part of the orchestra. They should be, but they're not. That's a different argument. That's a different documentary. But he's a really good jazz saxophone player. But when he was learning to play sax, he was so annoying because every note that wasn't good, or it was just, the neighbors are complaining, everybody complaining. But those few minutes that he was playing at the guitar, he lit up like I didn't see him lighting up when he played the saxophone.
All right. Well, the show is about the movie String Theory, not about your nephew's career. So
that's the next episode.
Yeah. I got the URL in the description there. I watched the film. Now, answer me this: what was the thing? And Jared, if I'm correct about this, congratulations for being able to do a cinematic piece of work. If it was all shot on Zoom, was it all shot on Zoom?
It was. Yeah.
Fucking amazing. And
it was. It was a Zoom, like it was actually called Riverside, which is
I know Riverside,
broadcast quality. But look, we just to backtrack for a second. When I first pitched this to Jared, he thought I was out of my mind, and then when he finally said, "Let's do it," it was going to be fun little maybe 10-minute YouTube video. Period. But obviously exploded. We had no budget. There was no budget. So the way we were able to really do this was because part of the joke was the guitars behind you in Zoom. It made sense to interview people over a Zoom.
That's. Now I just had a real quick question for Jared. Randy says when he pitched this, you thought he was out of his mind. Did you think he was out of his mind before that, and you just revealed it when he said it? Like you always thought it, but you didn't bring it up.
No, well, as you guys were talking before we joined the show, you guys were talking about how we met each other on a commercial. And you're talking about commercials. So my day job is I direct commercials and television shows. So when I was doing a commercial, and Randy was an actual testimonial, and we went to his home to film him, and the client was saying to me, he plays guitar, he's got some jokes, and I said, all right, okay.
Because I don't know if Matt knows, but I was a stand-up comic for 20 years. That's how I'm in my living. So
we got to talk later. Go ahead, keep going. I'm sorry.
We won't hold that against you.
Long story short, as we say in the film, and as we talk about, the passion for guitars. As soon as I walked into his house, and I saw he had a guitar, we were just talking. We just shared our love for it. I didn't care how good he was. He could have been amazing. He could have sucked. It was irrelevant. And then after about 3 months of knowing him, I liked him. Randy's definitely quirky. I'm not friends with boring people. So, Randy was like, I got this idea. And I said, Randy, listen to me. I love it. I think it's funny. Maybe it's more of a stand-up bit, and I'll help you make it. But, if you can get any of these people on the horn to do an interview, I'll make a documentary with you. Yeah. And it happened. To my surprise, Randy is amazing. So
I can't now. I'm drawing a blank on because you had so many people. I was like, wow, I would never have thought of that. Got
Andrew McCabe.
Harry Littman.
Yeah, Andrew McCabe.
Harry Littman, I knew.
Yeah,
I knew he played guitar.
So one of the things, and Jared's been, and he's very modest. I mean, he's won 2 Emmy Awards. I mean, he's got great movies out there and TV shows. But because he's in the business for 25 years, he knows the parameters of the business. He knows what you can and can't do. I know nothing. So I didn't know you could reach out to these people.
I mean, okay. I said, listen, Randy, stranger things have happened. Don't hold your breath. And then as all these people were responding within like minutes or hours, he's like, is this normal? And I said, no. I go, this is a testament to this instrument that these people who are very busy in the end in doing their own lives get back to you about this immediately, because it's a topic that's not of the norm. They're not talking politics, or they're not talking whatever. Plus, Randy's a really good at emails, man. You want to hire Randy for your PR company.
Okay, Jared, I have a question real quick, because Randy just said you've been in business for 25 years. So you've been doing it since you were 12?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No. How old do you think I am?
Honestly, I thought you were like 40, 41, 42 at the most.
48.
Okay.
All right.
I'm 25.
Yeah, and I thought so, because when you said you did comedy for 20 years, nothing will age your ass like doing comedy, especially the 5 years after 15.
I remember seeing Randy many years ago. Yeah. I've been a fan of Long Island comedy forever, and have been, in the shadows, wanting to be. And I did try a couple of times, conquer my comedy and all that kind of stuff. And I was taking off from wedding gigs where I would get paid $250. So I'm losing $250 already. Then I have to bring 5 people and buy them dinner. And it's like, it's costing me $500 to get 3 minutes to stand on stage and make a fool out of myself. This ain't going to work out. So I abandoned that idea pretty quickly. But so, yeah, and we have some friends in common in the comedy scene.
Well, Rich Walker, who's
right.
a great comedian and the nicest guy on the planet.
Yeah, and Rich actually 30 years ago was doing comedy out in a club I managed. It wasn't a club; it was a restaurant that we were having stand-up comedians come in up in Kings Park, and he was like hosting a comedy show up there that I was taping for Cablevision, and we were trying to do this whole like mini series for that kind of stuff. So we have some commonality back there. But the reason I bring that up is with sending emails to musicians, I sent one to Mark Farner from Grand Funk Railroad, and he got back to me that day and wanted to do. Can we do it tomorrow? Like that, it's hit or miss. Sometimes you get those people who are really eager to do it, and then sometimes, like I get Penn Gillette, who said to me, "Who the fuck are you? Why are you writing to me? Why should I fucking answer your shit?"
But he's not a musician, right?
No, but I'm just saying.
Well, he wrote back to you.
He wrote
back. He said, "Why should I answer your fucking email?" I was like, "You just did."
Which is an answer.
So, funny, I mean, we got everybody we really wanted. There were of course, there were some people that didn't get back to us at all. The one we were this close was Secretary Blinken. Secretary Blinken, well, at that point, we already had Andrew McCabe and Harry Littman. So there was some, like, it wasn't just, whatever, my guitar teacher. And so the State Department was trying to do the logistics. And I kept saying, listen, whatever you guys need, if you don't want somebody in a film with them, they're dead to us. Whatever you want. But it just
sorry, Jimmy Page, you're out.
Right. It just didn't happen. I'll tell you one thing we own. This is kind of, I don't want to get too political, but when Pete Hegseth was still at Fox,
right,
he plays guitar. But then I started reading his bio and I went, I'm not calling him.
Yeah,
I don't.
You know who would have been good, and if you do a sequel to this, Tommy Chong would be good. I mean,
yes,
because I talked to him at least 5 times, and he only wants to talk about guitar. I want to talk about movies and comedy and weed and whatever he's into.
Wait, he plays guitar?
Yeah,
yeah.
He started in a band that before he was in Cheech and Chong. I mean, as a teenager, he was in I can't say the name.
Yeah, you can. It's called Three Niggas and a Chink.
Yeah. In Toronto, his family owned.
That was the name of the band, Three Niggas and a Chink.
Which one was he?
Wow. And because when I interviewed him, I said when I had him, I was talking to him. I said, "You play guitar?" I saw the guitars in the background. I said, "You play guitar?" He goes, "Oh yeah." And I already knew that because I did the research. And I said, "Well, that's right. If we had 2 more niggas, we could put the band back together." He started.
Heavy Kevin New Zealand says the movie looks great. Don't know most of them, but look, you don't know Marty Schwartz. You don't know Tyler Larson. Is that his name?
Well, he's from New Zealand, so he may not know, especially the local McCabe, because they're like American political celebrities. At least in my mind, Andy.
Well, this guy might know Charlie Wallace, who's in the film, if he's from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Wallace, the guy that just wrote is from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie Wallace is in the film. But, part of it, too, and we didn't, people ask, well, why didn't you get, like, famous guitar players? That's the point. This isn't about famous guitar players. It's guys like JD, me, Matt. It's guys that just love the instrument, even if we don't call ourselves musicians. So it kind of like, if we could have gotten Slash, I mean, it almost doesn't. It's plus those are out there. Those documentaries are out there with famous musicians.
Listen, wait, pump the brakes there, Randy. Yeah. If anyone's listening, we'll take you in the film. And
absolutely.
That is true.
Right?
Yeah. One of the things I think I learned that Les Paul wasn't the inventor of the guitar. There was a Rickenbacker frying pan electric guitar that was produced before Les Paul did the log. Is that correct? Well,
Les Paul was the one who did the first solid body. I guess that was the Rickenbacker was from what I recall what it looked like, and it was more like a hollow thing. You know, it looked
called
like
the
it
frying
looked like a
pan.
banjo, right?
Yeah.
It was like
Yes. So that surprised me. The other thing, and somebody mentioned, and I don't know if it was one of you two or somebody else in the film talking about Leo Fender and Les Paul, and said they were both like elite guitarists. I didn't even know Leo. I thought Leo was just a luthier, like a guy who built stuff, and not necessarily a guitar player. Obviously, I knew Les forever and playing that stuff.
Right.
So I was surprised to find out that Leo was a virtuoso guitar player.
And how about the fact that a guy named Les Paul invented a guitar named Les Paul? You know, what a coincidence, right? I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, I was wondering which came
Too
first.
bad he couldn't, monetize that some way.
Right. No one's ever heard of the guy, so unfortunately, right.
Marty Schwartz is because there are people. I don't know if there's a cottage industry. I don't know if you know. I'm sorry. There's a cottage industry around making fun of Marty Schwartz, and I like his work, and I think he does some good stuff. But there's a whole bunch of elitist snob guitar players out there who just think Marty's doing that.
But the thing about Marty is I've met him. He was actually in New York City a couple of months ago. I went to see him at the Bitter End. He was helping this band that's amazing. But he's exactly who he is on camera. He's the nicest guy ever. So he started doing videos with those videos of being made fun of. He doesn't take himself that seriously. Like he's good with it. He doesn't get pissed off.
And you know, he told us the story just to anyone who's makes fun of him is clearly jealous of him, right? Because he told us a story of how he met Slash when he was at the Gibson garage. And he was like, "Oh my God, it's Slash." And Slash was like, "Oh my God, it's Marty Schwartz." And he said that because he goes, in the pantheon of guitar people out there, you will be remembered because you are helping so many people like live their dream of playing this instrument. And anyone, that's why, like, if we were hanging out with Slash, right? We all suck compared to Slash. If we were hanging out with him, he probably wouldn't say a bad thing about our playing. It's about playing. It's just about playing, right? And I think that's why I think Marty Schwartz.
Now, I have a question for you then. Do you give any credit to the person who invented the guitar pick? I'm just saying, did you give them any love?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I would love to give that person credit, whoever that is, because I can't play fingerstyle. I always use a pick. So,
so I would just say, I'm sorry. I feel slighted because I invented the guitar pick. No, I'm just teasing.
Briefly on Slash. When I met Slash, he said, "Hey Bruce, you got your harps? Come on up." He thought I was Bruce Willis.
I see the resemblance. I was going to say George Clooney.
The same night, James Coburn mistook me for Bruce Willis. The very same night that Slash. This was the premiere of Howard Stern's Private Parts movie, and Slash was playing at the after party. And
by the way, speaking of Howard Stern, our Don Quixote, our windmills. That's the one guy I'm begging to, because he is obsessed with. As a matter of fact, he called Marty Schwartz once to talk to Marty about, here's what my teacher's doing. What do you think? And man, because I really believe Howard Stern would love our movie and hopefully have us on. But getting to him is like,
absolutely. No, you could. You know what? Who else would? My friend Jackie, and I'm sure you know Jackie. Jackie, guitar player for. And he could probably.
You talking about Jackie Martling?
Yeah.
But I'm under I know Jackie well. I've opened for Jackie back in the day, but I was under the impression that they don't.
Oh no, Howard wrote the foreword for Jackie's book. It's not like. Listen, they have not. They're not like having tea or anything, but for something like that, he could definitely, whisper in his ear, "Hey, this is a movie. I know you have."
I might email him when we finish here. There's somebody has a question. I personally love slide guitar. One of my favorite genres in guitar are blues, because when you think white Jewish Long Island, you think the blues.
It sounds like a joke, but he's absolutely right. I mean, every white Jewish guy I know on this island is a blues player. So.
Oh, is that true? Actually,
that's because it's the Hanukkah colors. It's the Hanukkah colors. That's all.
That might be. So I love slide guitar. I can't play slide guitar. I mean, I don't even want to try. It's too hard.
The movie opens with a slide riff.
Right.
So that should tell you right away that there's an appreciation for slide guitar. I want to put out a statement and get you guys to react to it. Look at me. I'm act like some kind of professional broadcaster or something. Guitar is responsible for more bad music, more horrible music, more awful, goddamn terrible music than anything else. The instrument itself has led to people creating music, writing songs that are just awful, because you don't have to be a virtuoso to be able to create and write music on it. I think the instrument itself is responsible for some really terrible, like Tiny Tim, Tiptoe Through the Tulips or something.
There's a difference between the music and the songs. In other words, there are people that play the guitar. The guitar is a tool to sing. So they learn what they call cowboy chords. Like, look, 3 chords, you could play, 500 songs.
Right.
So you learn how to strum, you learn how to do a few chords, and then you write some stupid song. And but I think if you're just playing an instrument, I don't know if I agree with that, but I think the guitar as a tool is responsible has enabled really bad songwriters.
Well, part of that is because it's portable. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Ron. I didn't. Go ahead.
So you're saying that Neil Young has destroyed lives, then?
Ron has this real hard on for Neil Young for some reason.
No, he's just garbage. I mean, let's just say it.
As far as
you know what? Just getting back to like the instrument and being responsible. Look, it's a tool, right? Right. You could have a hammer, right? And someone could build something amazing, or someone could build something ridiculous, right? So I'm sure there's plenty of carpenters who've butchered homes out there.
Yes.
So you're not gonna blame the instrument. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I hear your point, but yes, I'm gonna try to be fair here. Guitar is also responsible for some great music. Right. The ability to be able to write on a simple instrument like that, where you don't have to become classically trained in order to write music and get an idea for a arrangement, a backing arrangement for a song, that has led to some really incredible music. And there are just a lot of virtuosos who create great music. Right. A lot of the music of our life of the last 100 years has been guitar driven and created on guitar. But I also think that it enables people who should never write music.
You know what? I'm going to say something to you. I think that's a horrible thing to say.
I know.
I think that's horrible. I do.
I know.
Listen, it's a
I
horrible
know. That's why I said it.
Because as someone who, like, again, I didn't start playing until 5 years ago when I was 43. And I'm not looking to be a songwriter, but if there's someone out there who fucking cares if they write the worst fucking song? Who the fuck are you to tell them that they're responsible for making bad music with the instrument? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Well, hey, no, because
that's like saying you can't paint because you suck.
No, someone in their life has to take them aside and say,
"No, I disagree with you, man. No way."
Yeah, but
if that kid, like his nephew, is rocking out, if that dude goes into his basement, that's the point of fucking rock and roll, gentlemen. You're missing the point. You gotta go in your basement and rock.
I'm going to agree with you on that. I think I'm not saying anybody should have the right to tell them not to, but I will say that the work that's out there, that there's just we're oversaturated with people who are just writing really poorly written songs.
But we're oversaturated. I mean, you know this.
Right, everything's oversaturated. We're doing a radio show. We don't need another one, you know?
My daughters, who are now in college, but, in their high school, is sitting there on their iPhones and they're cracking up and they're watching all of these, like, TikTok videos and all, and they're laughing at the most dumbest things in the world. And some of these people are millionaires with crap. So I think everything is oversaturated.
I totally agree with you on that point. And I think to try to get Jarrett to kind of understand my point, I think you would agree that the iPhone and the idea of smartphones has created more videography than is necessary, and some really bad videography. And people,
but who's keeping track?
Huh?
Who cares? I could care. I'm a filmmaker. I could care less that there's a million kids out there with doing great work on their phones. I don't care. Good, do it.
There is some great work being done with the people, but who's keeping track? It's not like exactly keeping track. It's the stuff that floods over every aspect of our life right now. Sometimes you can't get away with it.
Right. I understand the oversaturation issue in everything, right?
Yeah,
but I think of all things that should be oversaturated, let it be music. You know?
I unfortunately am married to a person who used to think that my guitar playing and my singing was like magical. Okay, 20 years ago when we first got together. Yes. But only recently did she say it once to me. Like she said a couple weeks ago, she says, "Do you have to sing every song?"
Wow.
So I guess at some point, well, I guess the point is,
Listen,
I guess, yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, I know what you're going to say, but like, yeah, look, that means she has too much of a good thing, my friend. She just doesn't appreciate it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that because I don't think, oh, never mind. No, I'm leave sex out of it. Am I? Yeah, I'm leaving sex out of it. Never mind. Yeah. So, but I'm just saying, I guess at some point, a lot of people start playing guitar, and a lot of people, because they're friends with them, in the beginning, it's like, wow, they're so encouraging it. But if they don't get any better, their friends should tell them to stop or give
Listen,
up.
if my friend's about to go embarrass themselves on American Idol, I'm going to say, don't go to the audition, please. But if someone's in their basement and they're rocking out, and every time I see them, they suck at guitar, I don't give a fuck. Keep rocking out, brother. It's your basement. Who cares?
I think that's really important distinction here. There's two types of, look, I made my living as a comedian. I did the stage thing. I have no desire to ever take a guitar and perform in front of people, partially because I suck. But
come on.
There are people that play for the love of playing with no desire to take it to the next level. Now, I do think, and I do kind of agree with Matt a little bit. What bothers me is because of all the avenues of free content, there's so much noise. There's so much. I mean, when I lived in LA and I would go on auditions, I remember a casting director talking about, every, pumpkin patch queen from Iowa, decides to move to LA. I'm going to be an actress, and weeding through all of that crap to get to people that actually have talent is crazy. So the same thing here. You have so many podcasts, you have so many musicians, like it's mind-numbing to weed through the crap. Now I know Ron doesn't like Neil Young. I happen to like Neil Young. I mean, there's a point where it's also subjective. I mean, I mean? Look.
Now, I don't know. I think you can actually draw real-world parallels of how Neil Young's music has destroyed people and led to the downfall of where we're currently at.
I think Neil Young, one of his songs caused the 1929 crash, right? When the guys were jumping up. I don't know.
Listen,
I don't know if that's true.
I will say this: now that we're thinking about music and music we hate, the only person I would actually say, please stop, is Yoko Ono.
Wow.
Right?
No, that's funny. I don't even. When there's two people, there's two bands that when they come on the radio, my wife will look at me and go, "You can change the channel," because she knows I can't stand them. Creedence Clearwater Revival. I can't listen to them, and I can't listen to John Cougar Mellencamp. I can't. I just and Leonard Skinner. But that's not even because I used to like Leonard Skinner. It's just that when they started performing in front of Confederate flags, like I said, I can't. I can't support it.
So you liked them when they were 12 because they were always in front of.
Yeah, but I'd never seen them perform. There's a difference between saying, "Oh yeah, I can get behind, give me 3 steps," stuff like that.
Anyway.
I even tolerated Free Bird, which I cannot. As a guitarist, I hate Free Bird and I hate Stairway to Heaven as a guitarist because there's so many times and Hotel California.
There's a lot of hate flying around. I don't know if you.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
that's okay. That's
the Eagles should have stopped 15 years ago. Maybe you can even argue 25 years ago the Eagles should have stopped.
They did.
No, they're still around.
I should say
they
tired
stopped in
of
the early 90s, and then they started up again like 15 years later or something, or whatever.
Yeah, and they shouldn't have.
Yeah, those songs I mentioned, I don't hate like they're just. I've played them and been asked to play them so many times. It's like there's other songs out there. I'll play Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, anything. I'll
say that.
I'll play. I'll walk the line. I'll anything. Not Stairway to Heaven. Not Free Bird.
Let me get control
Hotel
here
California.
again. I'm going to mute you in 1 second. Thank you, Randy, for articulating my real problem. I don't have a problem with anybody playing guitar, writing music, all this stuff. I think publishing, the self-publishing industry makes it really hard for the consumer to find good work out there, stuff that is of quality, stuff that really is redeeming work of art, as opposed to just anybody publishing. I just took a shit and wiped my ass. Here's my latest novel called Toilet Paper.
That's a good album. I listen to that every morning.
Oh, it stinks.
The audio book.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to be like a music cop or artist cop. I just think it clutters up the bucket for people who are searching for things that no matter whatever genre you like, whatever it is that you like, it makes it harder to find the good stuff. It just clutter, makes it over publishing. But right. I also feel like guitar has given people license to be songwriters without understanding song form or any of that stuff. It's just like, I get it, but there are some things.
What do you mean by song form?
Understanding the format of which songs are written, understanding the difference between a verse, a chorus, and what a bridge actually is, and why a bridge is necessary sometimes. Things like, a little education in music is not a bad thing.
But what you're saying almost sounds like that you would say, well, avant-garde jazz has no place, because listening to avant-garde jazz, they don't follow. I don't think they follow any of those rules you just mentioned.
Absolutely, they do. I played avant-garde jazz for 30 years.
I have too, and
they absolutely do.
Well.
They absolutely do form a verse, chorus, bridges, understanding that stuff. Sometimes you learn the rules to throw the rules out, but you have to learn them first and understand what they are. Just to say, not understanding where the verse and where the chorus is, or what a bridge actually is, and just start strumming away. I think, you know what? If it feels redeemable to somebody and somebody finds value in it, good for them. It's the same argument I make about AI music now, is that it's not. I'm not going to tell somebody that's no good, you can't listen to it. If it brings you joy, if you find value in it, enjoy it. But I think we're overwhelmed with stuff to the point where I can't find what I'm looking for. And that's
what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
That's what
overpublishing makes it. It's like the casting director that Randy was talking about. He can't find the one he's looking for because at 97 open micers just came into the audition.
Matt is suffering from New York City traffic syndrome. It's like, everybody get the fuck off the road so I can get to where I'm going.
Yeah, exactly.
The other problem is that too, we have people have no attention span. So you're looking to wade through all this stuff. So it's like 2 seconds. No. You don't even have the time to sit and go, like, how many songs or TV shows you need to sit and actually get into it? You don't know in the first 10 seconds. But now, if it's not immediate, people they do that.
You can, but normally, because I check out new music every week and I go through the list, and you really you can hear the beginning of the song and get the idea of what the verse is going to be. And then let me hear the hook, and from there you can tell. So it usually takes about 30 seconds to figure out if you're really for me anyway, to find out if it's
right. You wait for those moments in a song. Are they hooking me? Do I like this? Do I like that?
Right.
Do I like the melody? Do I like the hook? Do I like the voice? There's so many great things that make a hit, right? Like all these lightning in the bottle, all these things come together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for me personally, like if I see a guy that's just going to wank and do guitar solos, that's a big no for me. That's a boring band. It's like, I don't want to see that.
Right. So now, in reaching out to people, you reached out to some really interesting people and got them. Again, we can talk about some of them, but I'm interested in, since the film has been out, has anybody contacted you and saying, "Wow, thank you for doing," or like somebody you'd be surprised to hear from?
Someone who was in the movie?
No, somebody who not in the movie, just kind of found the movie, and somebody who you might be surprised with of some.
No, so far, I mean,
we got a lot of Randy. Tell them about all the great.
We got a lot of great reviews, but nobody like I would say famous. Nobody now, like you don't like. I know that Brian May from Queen has it.
Wow.
I know that Jeff Daniels has it, but I also don't have the ability to go. Well, come on, what do you think? So, but I was hoping, I was hoping you were going to ask me. We had all these incredible interviews. Were there any interviews that went south?
Yeah. No, I'm certain there. I was going to get to that point, but sure, answer your own question, please.
Oh, thank you so much.
He can't control himself.
Thank you so much for asking. I will be diplomatic though, and just say that we had Paul Reed Smith himself, PRS Guitars, and all I'm willing to say without consulting an attorney is he clearly did not want to be there, which I don't understand.
Who forced him to do the interview?
That's the point. It's his company. Like he could have, for instance, with Taylor Guitar. And by the way, the people at Taylor Guitar are the nicest. I mean, they were so nice. I was convinced it wasn't the famous Taylor. Taylor spelled with like ER in somebody's bit because they were. I mean, everybody was so nice to us. But the woman that Lindsay Love was the community artist rep. So, which by the way, she's now the community artist rep at PRS. But so when Dan Del Vecchio, who's my guitar teacher, who's in the movie, he's sponsored by PRS. So he was able to get us Paul Reed Smith himself. Why Paul Reed Smith didn't just say to the community artist rep, do this, I don't know. He chose to do it, and it went south really fast.
Wow.
Really fast.
I've had a lot of those interviews where people came on the show, and it was apparent to me that they hated me right from the beginning. Like, they don't want to talk to me. What am I doing?
He didn't say Reed hated him. He just said
no. You know what it was?
I said they hated me.
Here we are. We're interviewing him. It's about the love of this instrument. You make fucking guitars, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You should want to talk about your love for guitar for a hot second while your PR person has you on the interview. But it was just very apparent that he, to the point where I felt like he was almost like, why am I here? And then he'd come back and talk. And then at the end, he gave us one little nugget. And he said, it's guys like you that make, this, like you share the love for this instrument and blah, blah, blah. What you're doing is a good thing. And I said, it was a great soundbite, but we can't keep it. We got this random one-liner from him.
Plus he never looked in the camera. He had his head down to the side, his body language.
Maybe he stubbed his toe before he walked into the office, but he did not want to be there.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to bother him anymore. We were just like, all right, ciao, brother.
So, Chad, did you end up with a lot of extra footage on the cutting room floor there?
We did. Every interview that we had was about, we scheduled them for 20 minutes. We ended up being 45 minutes to an hour. But I would say that, is there enough to tell other stories? Not too different. You know how people are when we speak. You say the same shit over and over. So sometimes people are just repeating themselves. We had a series of about 7 or 8 questions that we'd always ask them. And that it's kind of how we formatted the movie, like about music, what it does for you, blah, 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 music therapy. There was different cards in the film that kind of touch on different subject matters. And that was really the basis of Randy and I's questions when we interviewed them. So
it was an amazing, Jared took the reins on this. I kind of helped, but it was his thing. The editing, because we had about 12 to 13 hours of interviews. And, Jared was like, this has got to move. I don't want the audience to get bored. There's no reason this is going to be a 2-hour documentary. It's like, all right, already, I get it. People love guitars. So for instance, Jared has a movie out there that's really, really good called Santa. It's a great movie. And I said, was it easier editing that or this? And he goes, well, there's a script. After the interviews, we had no script. We had to listen to every interview, look at what they said, put it on, category.
Find the commonalities, the themes that people say.
And then try to pull out pieces and then move things around. It took months and months. It was really kind of fun. It was really cool. But we kind of made the thread of the movie as it went along based on what people said. But
well, let me just say I think you did a phenomenal job on this movie. I think it's an hour and 5 minutes long, if I have that correct.
Exactly.
It leaves you wanting more, so that's a good thing. It makes me want something this to continue, and I think so the question on the table is there anything in the work, the plans, anything to do something, not necessarily a sequel, but something related to it?
So Randy and I were using string theory kind of as a barometer for another series where we would feature other topics that people obsess on. And, Randy mentioned golf earlier,
knitting,
just ridiculous things, guns,
Latin hymns,
whatever people get obsessed about. There's an audience for it.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned Latin hymns. We're moving up in the golf category on podcast. For some reason, we're getting lots of golf. We have a golfer author on again Monday. Who go figure? But yeah, because again, I get in a lot of like the idea of capos, guys who get angry or get on a soapbox about the use of capos or the clip-on tuners. Get that off your guitar. Or all these kind of fetishes that guitar players
are. You mean like rapos, capos, and rapos?
So I wanted to kind of maybe explore this in the movie, but there was no time. But tabs versus reading music.
Right. Yeah.
The elitists are like, forget it. Now, meanwhile, the guy in the movie, Jared, what was his name? The Matt Brownlee, who is a musicologist. He was the one that brought out the Rickenbacker.
Right.
So he said tablature actually dates back to the 1400s.
Right.
And he showed this example. I mean, but we had to cut somewhere because, like you said, it could be forever. Right. But that's a huge one. Like, I only know how to read tabs. But I have a friend who's a classically trained guitarist. He went to Five Towns College the very first year it existed. And to him, if you can't read music, you don't go away.
Yeah. And there's a lot of elitism in guitar and music world in general, but especially in guitars and stuff like that. Are you familiar with Sore Hands? Sore Hands is a YouTube channel, classical guitarist here on YouTube, and his whole it's shtick. He's a comedian wannabe, and he's funny, very funny. But he also is an elitist snob, and he pulls apart all anything with steel strings is not guitar to him. It's that kind of thing.
You know what, man? We've gotten on this subject, like just people who are just haters. You could do a whole other podcast on jerk offs.
Yeah. He's a fake hater, though. He's doing it for clicks and views and kind of trying to get people to comment angry on his stuff and just just like he'll like rip apart Tommy Emmanuel or somebody like that and like call him Buzzy Tommy because his tone isn't clear.
He's a hater, and we're the lovers, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I love Tommy Emmanuel. Yeah.
Now, when you was talking about tablature versus like reading music, score music. And the correct answer is yes, because they both have their purposes. I know when, like I said, you probably, I don't know if you guys ever recorded music or had to write music for other people to play. When I recorded a CD, I wrote the score out for everybody, and I wrote the bass line out. And my bass player, who's classically trained, said, "I don't get this." He's looking at the notes and he can play them, but he's like, the reaches are kind of weird, And I said, well, try it this way. Now, if I'd given him tablature and he saw the actual fingering I used, it would have gone, oh, okay. Otherwise, it's like, and vice versa. So he's written bass lines for me to use. And I'm like, I can't play this crap. I didn't mean to say crap, because it's actually very good stuff. But once he showed me how he did it, which is what tablature is, it's like, this is how.
Well, when I started, I was, I think, 59 years old. And when I went to my first lesson, I said, I want to learn, I figured, let me learn how to read music. And the guy looked at me, I'll be 90 before I can master that. So we immediately started with tabs. And I was like, oh my God, this is the easiest way to learn. Because again, I'm not trying to be a professional musician.
Right. It's like chord charts. It's like when you first learn to play guitar, they give you chord charts. They don't show you the notes on the paper. And chord charts are just the graphic, the visual representation or graphic representation of tablature.
Yeah. Let's talk about the instrument itself now, because I have sold in the last 6 months probably 20 guitars. I feel like there's more guitars than there is food for the plant. And I'm just wondering, like, our obsession with new guitars when a 6-string acoustic and a 6-string acoustic, Taylor might, obviously every guitar might have a little bit of different tone, different feel, all that kind of stuff, and you talk about that in the movie. But at what point do we say there are enough guitars for 8 billion people on the planet? Let's concentrate on building something else.
Well, I guess the joke would be there's never enough. So
yeah, there is never. So how many do you guys personally have a collection? I know.
Well,
I think Brandon said he has 3.
That was covered in the movie.
Right.
Jared, how many do you have?
Well, I've gotten rid of some guitars because at the end of the day, I'm like, I like each body style. Like, I have a cousin of mine who literally just told me today, he's like, we got to get together. I got a new axe. And I'm like, why don't you spend some fucking money on lessons, bro? You know what I'm saying? You know, I have a Les Paul. I got a whatever. I don't know if you can see this, whatever. I got enough to satisfy my urge. Every body style. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't need any more than that.
More than that. I feel inadequate. I only have 2 now. I have my eye on a third, which is going to be a Taylor. But there's a logic for me, which is I love Martin for the deeper, darker tones. Taylor for songs like Blackbird and Here Comes the Sun. I want a Taylor for that. But then I have my acoustic electric if I want to like play something a little, more rock and roll. I don't think I need more after that, but it's obsessive. I mean, you see a guitar and even if it's just sitting there, it's obsessive.
But before I played, I had 2 guitars hanging on my office wall because I love looking at them as artwork. And that's something we touch on, like I could care less about playing at the time, but obviously there was something in me that always drew me to that instrument, which is why I'm playing now. But
I know when I was younger, when I first started watching other guitarists because of things like Rock Concert and Midnight Special, when they do these little featurettes, and I got to see like Steve Howe, and at that point, this is like in 75, 76. Steve Howe, they showed him, and he had like 150 guitars back then. Brian May had well over 100 guitars. And I started playing guitar like in 76. So at that point, I think I was just starting to play, and I had like 1 guitar. And I'm watching them with like 150 guitars and 100. It was just mind-boggling to me because I'm like, when do you use them all? I kept thinking, when?
In the movie, Justin Sanderco, who's another, huge. I mean, him and Marty.
Justin Guitar, right?
Justin Guitar. Him and Marty Schwartz are probably, I think, the 2 biggest. I mean, the others up there too, but he says in the movie at one point he had over 200 guitars, and he's like, "What am I doing? Like, this is ridiculous."
Right. One thing you didn't touch on in the movie, or if you did, I must have missed it, is because there's always been 6 strings and 12 strings. Now people are coming up with 18-string guitars, just crazy. Innovations on guitars, even whether it's electric or acoustic, just this crazy expansion of the instrument and the way it's evolving. Did any interest? I know the movie is, again, with perfect timing, making you want more. But any interest in adding that into it? If you do another project.
Here's the thing. All these things are a total interest to us as guitar players, but it's not my instinct to go, I give a fuck about the 18-string instrument. I've seen some crazy thing where it's like, it looks like a harpsichord mixed with whatever. And I'm just like, that's a crazy looking instrument that I'll never fucking play.
I think to an extent it's gimmicky. Like my guitar teacher is a perfect example. He's got a bunch of guitars. He once had the double neck guitar.
Right.
And he bought it because it looks cool, and he played it a few times, and then he thought, "What am I doing? This is." I think it's more fad, gimmicky. It's like I don't,
By the way, I think I just called the guitar a harpsichord to show you how little I do know. So
there's an instrument that I used to be obsessed with. I guess I will be obsessed with it until I actually own one and go, never mind. But there's an instrument called the stick. It's kind of like
I know the stick.
Yes, I love. I have a chart. I have a full-grown chart, like a full-size chart to scale of the stick, so I could so I could start learning to play it visually before I actually bought one, because I couldn't afford it. But I didn't want it, but I still want one, And
you ever see, what's that instrument where you play like the electricity, the sound? Is that the stick? No.
The stick is tapping.
Oh,
with your hand.
It's a tapping board, yeah.
No. Yeah, on Big Bang Theory, they had an episode. It's
right, and they use that in
right.
I'm saying,
I'm trying.
Party at Ground Zero. I think what's the name of that?
Either way,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Mellotron, is that it?
Maybe.
No, that melting.
Who knows? Who gives a shit? But it's a crazy looking instrument. But.
Yeah. So the question I was building to there, because there is so much interest in this subject, and you point that out, how many people just have different affinities for this stuff. It can be used as art and all this stuff, and how many people just think it's a prestige thing. If I have it in the corner behind me, it makes me look cool, all that stuff. It feels like this is and this is your business, and that's why I'm asking this. There's prime interest in this to make it more than just a movie, like a Netflix series or something like that, television.
Honestly, this sounds cheesy, and I tell Randy this, but like, you got to do art for art's sake, right? We do it, I finish it, I put it out there. I'm happy anyone likes it. I don't care who doesn't like it, doesn't matter. But I think the goal for Randy and I, yes, having it on these networks and these platforms are great because we want people to see it. It would be a dream come true for us if people just embraced the film for what it is. It's this nice love letter to the guitar. It's a goofy thing that's, starts off goofy and really has some heart. And for anyone who plays that instrument, it might be obvious to them. Oh yeah, of course we feel all these things, about the instrument. That's why we play it. But we wanted to just articulate that and put it out into the universe and call it a day. See what happens. Yeah. We've been riding the wave ever since. So
one of the things that was really, this was my analogy when we did this. So when I was I'm being, it's like therapy now. When I was a stand-up comic, I was way too goddamn focused on making it. I wanted to make it. In fact, I remember in Suffolk County when there was a ground round that did a comedy night and you stood by the salad bar.
I remember it. Yeah.
And I refused to do it. I'm too good for that. Meanwhile, I saw in an interview, Jerry Seinfeld did it. Well, Jerry Seinfeld became Jerry Seinfeld and I didn't. And I realized I was focused on that instead of the moment. And so when this came up, and the fact is I have a day job, this was a passion project. We made it for the love of making it, zero expectations. We didn't expect to make money. We technically lost money. We invested money to make it, but we knew we'd never see our money back. We weren't trying to become influencers or create a brand. There was no strategy. But as Jared pointed out before, we were hoping at the best, the reaction would dictate the next step, because we have gotten emails saying, you guys as a pair, what else you got? You guys really have a fun dynamic, but until somebody gives us something, I don't think we're going to do it. I just want people to see it because I'm proud of it. Period. That's it.
Let me ask you this: are you both like? Because obviously this thing was then Zoom. You're separated. Are you live within proximity to each other, and do you actually?
Yeah, we're about a half hour.
We're both on Long Island. I mean, we both live near each other.
Okay, Long Island, though, like Matt says, long.
Well, East Meadow, Northport. I mean, so it's not that far.
All right. Very cool. It just seems like, to me, there is so much interest in this thing that it could be bigger than this. And I understand what you're saying. You create art for art's sake. But I think if there's enough public demand, and it seems like there is a lot of interest in this. And I think the point of the guitar, your love for the guitar and sharing that is a universal thing. There are so many people, you even talk about this in the film, where there are people, I know people who have 30 guitars and never play the guitar. They don't even know how to play the guitar. They never even pick it up. It's just something to have. And 30 is obsessive if you're not playing, if you don't play it all. But
yeah, I also think the core of this movie, in some weird way, and this is going to sound weird, has nothing to do with the guitar. It's about the love of doing something for the love of doing it.
Right.
Period. I think somebody who knits And that's like I always when I die, my wife and her sisters will be in the front row knitting during my funeral. They knit all the fucking time. So, somebody that's an obsessive knitter could watch this movie and go, I see myself in that passion.
Yeah. I love that you made this movie, and I want to get more people to watch it because I think I love these conversations, whether it ends up people getting mad at each other or just getting emotional about this topic. I want to share it with people. So I'm going to be cutting this up into shorts and trying to get people to go check out the film. And I just want to know, would you be upset if I took like some content from the film and included it in the shorts, like a 60-second shorts to kind of tease the film and get more people?
As long as you're not saying this movie sucks and don't watch it, you got to.
I would never say it. First of all, even if I thought that, I wouldn't say it. But I think I am thrilled that you made this movie. I think it's a compelling movie. I think it's a great movie. I really do.
Take all these little sound bites you're saying right now. I think it's a great movie.
Absolutely will. Right. I am super impressed that you created a cinematic piece of art.
Thank you.
On Zoom or Riverside or whatever it was.
That's Jared.
Well, you know what it was? Obviously, talking to people is great, and if it was a podcast, we could just have the talking heads the whole time. It wouldn't bother me. But if we were going to make a documentary about this, I was like, Randy, I love a good talking head, but I also want to shoot myself in the head if I watch too many of those, So we have to get out of that space for a little while, and we had a really talented friend of ours make funny little animations that kind of tied in with the conversations that were happening to keep the train moving,
Yeah, I mean, look, Jared's an actual filmmaker, so he understood that visual of not just being on that, but just to point out, he's worked with that animator before. That animator is amazing, and if we had to pay him a regular salary for what he did, we'd have to sell our houses. But he plays the guitar. He loved doing this.
One question I had about that, because there is some B-roll where you see luthiers actually doing the work. Did you did you go there and film that, or did they do that on Riverside?
So the only thing we actually left the studio for was we went to there was a music place on Long Island called the Music Zoo that Randy and I went, and you see us there in the rooms. Other than that, everything was provided by the
manufacturers.
Boy, when I heard the Music Zoo guy, I was like, because I used to work as a marketing director across the street from the Music Zoo, and I went in there and I put like $200 on a guitar to hold it and then I got laid off that day. And I never went back. He's still got. This is like 8 years ago now. He's got a guitar that he probably sold it, but I'm thinking it was a wonderful Telecaster. And like again, coming back to the point, I don't need another fucking guitar. But that one, it's breaking my heart. It's like I was gonna get that, and I never went back. It's Farmingdale's it's a whole other island away from me.
Yeah, it was. That's the only place we went. Only because it's so close, but it's a beautiful, beautiful store.
Oh man,
but
yeah.
The manufacturers all supplied us with B-roll that we were able to put in. So you got the B-roll, you got
and actually the most expensive part of the production of the film was the stock footage of the rock stars.
A fortune, a fortune. Wow. It was crazy. I'll tell you this is the craziest part of it all. So we had Andrew McCabe, Harry Littman, and James Phillips, all CNN people. I called CNN. I said, listen, they already signed releases. They're in our documentary. All I want is a still shot, no audio of them. Not a still shot, but a video of them on CNN talking, but you won't hear their audio.
Right, so we can reference where we saw them. Right.
Yeah, and they wanted thousands of dollars to do that. We were like, no. So
we said, hey guys, do me a favor. Could you just put your house the way you had it? And we'll just make
your suit on. And that's what they were so nice. They're not incredible.
CNN doesn't need any promotion, right? Because they're only like dying over there, but they don't need any help.
But it's just so ridiculous. But everybody, even the real commercials. So we're there. So one of the things that struck me, and probably as a stand-up comic, is the first time I saw a commercial for adult diapers. Right. The guy's on stage rocking out and then leaves with a woman. So the message is you can have shit in your pants, but if you play the guitar, you're going to get laid. Yeah. Then the other one was ED Med, and the same kind of thing. I tried getting to all of these advertising agencies. I wasn't going to tell them we were making fun of them. I was just, and nobody would even get back to me. So we had to recreate that. So we bought a lot of stock photos. That cost us, like Jared said, the bulk of our budget went to that.
Somebody in the movie, and I'll let you guys go in a minute, but I just want to bring this because I have said, and GD has busted my balls about this, that the reason I started to play music in the first place was to impress ladies. I thought that would, because I was shy and I wasn't athletic and all this kind of stuff, I thought playing music would get me more attention from the ladies. And I think I'm not alone. Your film at least validates that I'm not alone in that. There was a lot of people.
Well, no, see, I didn't bust your balls because you did that. I was busting your balls because you said that's why anybody learns to play guitar, and I did not start playing guitar for that.
No, we didn't say that, by the way. I think it was
no. Matt
Tyler. It was Tyler Larson who said that.
Oh, yeah. But also, people feel that way about the piano. I mean, Billy Joel said, I started playing the piano to meet girls, but I think that's really true about the guitar for a lot of people. I mean, not me. I was too old for that. But you play the guitar, it's like it's your chick magnet.
I think that mustache helps you get the guitar. I mean, the ladies, huh, brother?
I started playing guitar because I was using poetry to meet girls.
Oh, nice.
I was a poet. And that's when I was in high school. I used to write poems.
JD, where are you?
Like right here.
You're in prison.
Right.
Metaphorically, I mean,
if I move this, you'll see my parole officer. No, I'm in Maryland.
Oh, okay, all right. Because you said 76. I'm assuming maybe we're the same age, but I have an MFA. I have an MFA in creative writing, but I was curious if we crossed paths or something.
Oh no,
I'm really curious about Ron because that's really Mandy Patinkin, isn't it?
No, it's David Tell.
David Tell.
Yeah, I usually get Dave Attell more than anything.
Oh, really? I love Dave.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
Anyway, I appreciate you guys being on here. Anything I can do, and I will be working hard to tell everybody I know about this movie. I know, my world is full of guitar.
You know what, brother? Could we send you? We'll send you a little piece. I don't know if you've seen our new trailer, but we incorporate a very funny hippie, like a former.
Yeah, he saw it.
Okay, good. So if you'd like, we could send you something if you wanted to utilize that footage. You could mess with it and cut it up.
Absolutely. And if you plan on doing anything further along these lines, whether it's somehow related, please at least let me know about it. If I can help in any way, no charge at all, I will put you in touch with people that I know that might be of interest to you. There's lots of luthiers. I know you have plenty of great luthiers in the film, but just appreciate your work, and I wanted to thank you for doing it first of all, and starting the conversation, because I
feel free to use any of these clips if you want.
Well, thank you for having us. Thank you for entertaining the film, and
Rich Walker. It was all Rich Walker. I love Rich.
I love Rich too. Rich was one of my favorites, and he's been part of the Long Island comedy scene for so long.
I'm still in the back of my head. If you saw me perform years ago, I hope I was at least funny.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I wouldn't remember. Well, I shouldn't say that. There were a couple of people, but I don't remember their names. I remember the faces of people who sucked, but I don't necessarily remember. Anyway, thanks for being here. You guys have a great day, and good luck.
So much.
And hopefully, you see some new attention to your film because of the energy I put out there.
I hope so.
I love it. Thank you for doing it.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Randy Levin and Jared Bellucci. Anyway, good stuff there. Go see the movie. It's the link is in the description, and you'll be hearing me talk about it every day from now until the end of November. Why the end of November? Because that's when the world is going to end. Because coming back to where we always go back to politics. I think November is going to be the end of the world. I really do. I think.
Did you say that last month too, and the month before?
No. Last year I thought November was going to be brighter. I thought we would have a complete. I thought Donald Trump would have gone away after last November 6th, 5th. I thought a sound defeat was in the works, and he would just disappear. And then he won, and now he's here. But
I won't say he won. Say that he's got inaugurated, because I'm
He
still not
declared
convinced.
victory and had enough
and
people
nobody
hold on.
challenged it.
Right.
He declared victory and nobody fucking challenged it.
So, but this November, I'm just thinking, and I know people, oh, he can't do that, he can't do that. And every time I say, well, you can't, but he will, and he does, this election doesn't happen, I could just see like Bloody Sunday, Bloody Sunday, one of those complete world falling apart events. We're not going to allow
Matt, if it helps you feel any better, and it probably won't, because I can't think of anything that makes you feel better, but the Trump people are actually making plans to overthrow the election, to change it, to change the results, which means they're planning on there being an election. Otherwise, why make plans to change the results in 7 states?
Because there's plan B, plan C, plan D.
That's what I'm saying. So they're planning. So they're suspecting that there's going to be an election also, because they're planning for it.
Well, maybe it's just in case. They're planning for what happens if we can't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So there's hope. What I'm saying is there's hope. There's hope.
That doesn't sound like hope to me.
That there's going to be an election. You're saying there's not going to be one. They say there's hope that there's going to be one, because even they are thinking, we can't stop. We don't think we can stop it. We better be prepared for when we don't.
That's a little.
Well, the other thing that might change that too is whoever decides to attack us next, or whatever war.
I just want to make an analogy here. GD said, well, there's hope that you won't get cancer. Maybe somebody will shoot you in the head.
Right.
All right.
It depends on what your concerns are.
That's not a lot of hope. It's either way the result. Well, I think I'd rather get shot in the head. Come to think of it, it's quicker. It's over with fast.
It depends on what you want. That's the thing about hope. It depends on what you want the outcome to be, whether or not something is hopeful or not.
I want the least painful result. That's what I want.
I mean, somebody like right now, on the weather channel, on the local weather for Baltimore, they were talking about 8 to 15 inches. Okay, I'd be happy with only 4. 8 inches would be great compared to 15. I would hope for no snow whatsoever, or that it only snow on the grass, not on the driveway, so I don't have to worry about shoveling it.
Randy has that personality. You would guess he was a comedian just by meeting him.
Yeah, I want to talk to him. I want if I can get his contact, I want to reach out to him, because
GD's so funny. You want to put him on that so way past.
Yeah. I think we'd have a good conversation.
Yeah, I do too. Long Island comedy scene, he knows it, and I know Long Island. I think he's done national, touring and all that kind of stuff too. So yeah, I think it would be a great conversation for that. He should come back and just talk comedy one day.
Yeah,
So we did talk a lot of hate, but hate, I don't know. You said.
Well,
hate,
sometimes I say hate, and I don't really mean hate. That's just the first word. It's like it's if I think about it, like once I start talking about it, I realize it's not hate. It's like frustration, or it's not hate. It's just overexposure.
Right. So, but I do get a lot of hate back at me when I say there are too many guitar solos. We don't need another guitar solo. Those guys both laughed, and I think they seem to acknowledge that there's some truth in that. Like that. And Ron, you're a resident expert in this. Hip hop doesn't seem to have fallen. They don't need guitar solos ever, right? Very rarely do you hear.
No, there are some. There are actually some artists that use live instruments.
Live instruments, but guitar solos in particular.
Not really guitar solos, but I mean, the music industry overall is in a bad place. I mean, rap isn't doing so well. Rock isn't really doing that well either.
What's doing well? Nothing. Nothing is doing well. Jesse Wells doing well.
What's doing well is hip hop country. I don't know.
Well, here's the other thing about the music industry is there's like plenty of rumors and talk. Like a lot of your top artists are just paying for bots. Like that's the one knock against Drake all the time is like, are you really this popular, or is it just bots?
No doubt about it. There's a lot of people, high-profile people in industry in industry. I mean, attention industry that are doing it. Ben Shapiro got outed just a couple of days ago because his numbers have been plummeting forever and ever. But here's the thing: he is subsidized. I don't know, subsidized by Israel, the Israeli lobby, and he can afford to pay, according to some of the people I've upwards of $10,000 a week on bot traffic. And the way they determine that, there's lots of analysis going behind the scenes of all this stuff. But if you have, let's just take some made up numbers here, 100,000 views on a piece of content and not one like or 3 likes, 100,000 views and 3 likes. That's a pretty good indication that, some of these people aren't even paying attention, and or no comments on it. Like, come on, nobody commented on it.
I know the one thing that frustrates, again, now I'm saying these numbers, not that because they're impressive, because they're not impressive. They meant something to me. Back when I used to do critical joke theory on a regular basis, I used to get 400 views and about 400 views and about 10 to 15% likes, but they were real views, they weren't bots. But when we did the show in New York, and I bought advertisement or boost or whatever you call it from TikTok to boost the advertisements for the show in New York. After that, because I wouldn't boost anything else, all of my numbers went to shit. I mean, it was like I went from 400 views, consistent views a week with the same, consistent number of percentage of likes. So if it went down to like 200 views, I still had like 10 to 15% likes. If we went to 500 views, I had 10 to 15% likes. It was consistent. After I stopped giving TikTok money for the show, it went like to 10 views a week.
Yeah.
And so because they were fucking with my traffic, I stopped doing that. But I was so busy, that was so labor intensive that I want to put all that labor into it if they're gonna be like fucking with it like that.
Yeah, the biggest joke is like Instagram Reels advertising, like the on Instagram. That's such just a money work.
Yeah,
because it doesn't really do anything, because it'll tell you you're reaching all these people, so you'll see all those views, but I have never seen it really translate to ticket sales. Maybe like one
ticket
if I'm
sales.
lucky.
I have not seen it, and I can. Let's put this one: the show that we did in New York, not one of the 2 people that were in the audience came because of the TikTok. They were there because I was handing out flyers.
Those people that met you from the flyers, do they, keep in contact with you? Are they?
No, because I did not get like email information like that. I gave them the flyers. And that's one thing I'm terrible at. I don't have like an email list of people.
You gave them the card deck though, didn't you? I mean, the reason I'm asking is because I would think like when the next day or so you would have saw that they followed you, and those are the people from.
I don't know if they did follow me. I don't recognize any of the names.
Yeah, you need in this time now. You need to have email lists like Instagram and all that. That's going by the wayside because of the way the algorithm is now pushing content, because like followers really don't matter anymore, but Instagram, the algorithm will push your content if it feels like it's interesting and people are watching it, because that's what Instagram wants. They want interesting content and not just garbage. But there's also all the AI shit that's out there.
Instagram just wanted chicks to sell pictures of their tits or something.
There's plenty of thirst traps.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm not sure if you've noticed this, GD. If you're on, like for me, if I go on TikTok and I bring up the live, like the live streaming, most of the time it's like every other one is somebody just selling something.
Yeah.
It's like fucking CVS or like the old days of Home Shopping Network.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's
Oh,
really bad.
yeah, I get solicited for that kind of stuff all the time. There's lots of agencies that are doing. You want to just sell this stuff, and there's a whole new app for that. I forget what the name of it is that I've been getting solicitations for to join this thing where you just hook up with merchandisers and then you put out content every day about their stuff. Got
and some
something
of them
coming today.
seem like carnies. A lot of them just seem like carnies. Like if you would go to like your local yearly fair, it's that type of like presentation.
Right. Yeah. I have a piece of merchandise coming here today. Supposedly, I got a shipping thing that the thing has been shipped. I don't even know how to use it yet. They said, first of all, I'm getting the thing for free.
I don't know how to use it.
Yeah, you need a car battery to run this vibrator. I don't get
it is. It's called Waterfly. And let me see. I don't know. We don't need to see what it is, but I'll show it to you when it gets here. But it looks like I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. You tell me what it looks like. Can you please subscribe to this? No, they're sending me emails all over the place. But yeah, so I'm getting a lot of that where people just looking to use content to sell stuff. Yeah, I could share this. You tell me what it is. I'm going to share this picture. But it didn't come back. Where's my fucking buttons? Damn it! I got buttons to push. Is this? Oh, that I'm already.
You need your round glasses, Matt. You are so much more grumpy without your round glasses.
Was I?
No, I'm just saying that.
I know you are. Because I think these are actually sharper. I mean, better for my eyes here. Better to see what this is the thing that I'm getting today that they want me to use. Put out one short a week for them, for my getting this for free and then get. I'll try it out. What does it look like it does to you?
Okay, it looks like it goes around your waist, and you can put your wallet and stuff in it, and hold your water bottle.
Yeah, it's a fanny pack.
Yeah, it's a fanny pack with a liquor dispenser.
That nipple on the top of the thing.
Yeah, and it has that.
It looks like a pacifier almost.
But it's got a handle on there, so you can carry it if you want, I guess.
You run with it like face first, and the jar is in your mouth the whole time you're running. The nipple is.
No, that's a different one. Actually, I have a thing for my bike. I think they called it a camel or dromedary. I can't remember what they call it, but you put it on your backpack and it's
a camelback. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like neoprene foam or something. You put your bladder. It's like a plastic bladder inside of it, and a straw reaches around it, and you can put it in your mouth. So while you're riding your bike, you can drink water while you're riding. And when you're not drinking, you take the straw out or something, and then you can just drink and keep it. It keeps it cold.
All right, so I got to do a video once a week, a minute on this thing. It's not like I can run, because most of the images they have on their website, people running with it. Like it's not like, what am I going to do?
Why don't you
get on your tractor mower? Get on your tractor mower and drive your tractor mower, and
Well, I could definitely use it at the
your tractor mower has a cup holder though.
At your age, Matt, just do something with you walking and put fucking snacks and.
Well, I could definitely use it on my back when I'm playing these facility gigs, because they keep it 110 degrees in there. Because I don't know if you know this about old people. Old people like it fucking hot, man. They don't like to get cold ever, so they keep the heat like super hot. And I'm singing in your fucking voice.
No, that's just them preparing them for hell. That's all that is.
Oh, yeah.
See, I was thinking because they're trying to hurry up the dehydration process. It's like mummifying them while it's still, because if you're trying to keep them alive, you want to keep them cold and fresh.
Yeah.
Like if you go to a comedy club or theater, the temperature is about 50 degrees inside, so that people stay alert.
Yeah. So
we've converted our cafeteria to a dehydrator.
Yeah. So tomorrow night I'm going to be doing a Snowden show. I'm Edward Snowden.
Yeah,
I thought of that, but I was like that. If you try to be too clever with that, people like, what the fuck is that all about? I'm doing an hour and a half acoustic show tomorrow night. And this is.
Are you doing it on Plausible so you can get some income?
Doing it right here. See, right here. This is what. Right, I'm doing it where Ron's face is.
What time are you doing that show? Because because around here they're canceling shit already.
7 p.m. That's exactly why I'm doing it, because I know. First of all, I had a paint party that got canceled for Saturday night, and I know that lots of bands, including my old band, had a gig starting at 7 o'clock tomorrow in a restaurant that is not going to be doing any business. They're probably going to close. Everybody's getting canceled in advance, and I thought, well, this is at least people. Maybe 5 people will tune in to my dopey little show.
You know something. If I thought the answer was actually yes, I would say, Matt, maybe I'll join you and you could do a cutaway, and I could do like 1 or 2 songs or something. And then
I was going to reach out, and you were going to get an email.
You were not going to reach out to me.
No,
you never.
That's just you. I got like 50. I got a list of 50 people that I was thinking you want to come on and do a song or two, and want a song or two. And we'll leave the tip. You can bring your own tip jar if you want, like a PayPal link or whatever, to do a song or two. I just don't know how the logistics would work on that, but that's definitely part of the thought, is to send out emails today. Hey, you want to join me? You want to join me? But yeah, so that's going to be 7 to 9 roughly tomorrow night, Saturday night, when everybody is snowed. Everybody in the northeastern part of the country.
Well, if you do invite other people, I'm just talking about logistics.
Yeah.
Do your, like, let's say you're going to do like you like 20-minute set, and you can say to that person, I will have you on around 7:20. And you can do like 15 minutes, that kind of thing. So you can
really bad with planning. And you know what? One of these pod network did a survey with me the other day, and they're like, "What are some of your biggest challenges? Business management, planning, sticking to a plan, having the administration." I'm terrible at this stuff. I hear what you're saying. That would be great to say. I'm going to do.
Yeah, because I know you don't like to do set lists.
Yeah, I hate set lists, and I hate trying to figure out how many songs is 20 minutes. Like I know it says 3.5 minutes for this song, but how long does it take when I actually do it? And I don't know, and I don't like thinking, oh, somebody's waiting on me to get off this. I hate that fucking shit.
Yeah, and that's true. I don't like that. I don't like to have people waiting for me. And I don't. It's even like when I do, if I do something, and somebody is after me. I'm talking about a show now. If they say we want you to do 15 minutes. I time it so that my routine is 15 minutes, so they don't have to like me.
Yeah.
But what screws me over is if they say we only want you to do 12 minutes, because that happened to me a few times, like at the Broadway Comedy Club. They say we want you to do 15. I say okay, I got 15, and then as I'm walking up, they say we want you to do 7 because a friend of ours just showed up, and we want to give him some mic time. It's like, well, why are you taking half of my time? Take somebody else's.
Yeah. 5 years ago today, we did a 46-hour podathon, and you
didn't invite us, and I'm still haven't forgiven you for that.
I didn't even know you then, but I had like 115 people on, and I had some people just sitting in the green room, and I'm like, I don't want to cut this guy off. He's doing really good. This is a good segment, but they're always nervous about, I don't want to wake up. And I had people bailing on me because I had let them way too long. It's just that it's so. If I do this now and send out these emails inviting people on, expect a clusterfuck. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not good at managing the time and all that stuff. It's just not,
that's why I need. Okay, that's why you need Ron to run it, because Ron is like a little clock Nazi.
I know. That's what I need.
No offense to Nazis, but Ron does it better than you.
No, I need a Ron. And here's something I meant to tell you about, because I put a list. A thing on Craigslist in the gigs and like opportunities for partnership, and actually somebody to manage this business and actually understand following up with the sponsors, getting payment from people who are neglecting they owe us money and all this stuff. And I got a email from a guy. Starts out with, I went to prison. Okay.
Well, that means I know how to collect money. Did he say I went to prison for breaking legs?
Boy, does he know how to collect money, because I Googled him, and it turns out that he was working for the Social Security Administration
He was breaking legs
at the beginning of COVID, and then him and his partner had created hundreds and hundreds of phony IDs in the unemployment situation, and they collected $10.6 million in bogus unemployment checks and cashed them all. He got 18 months. To me,
okay, what happened to the money?
Oh, that's exactly my point here. To me, it's definitely worth it. He didn't have to pay the money back because he said he spent it all. It was gone. Like, you'd have to. First of all, how do you spend $10.6 million in a short period of time like that? I know you can, but
I think you can.
You have to be. Of course you can, but you have to be obviously living like, well, what happened to you, buddy? You're driving yacht. You got yachts. You got Ferrari. All this kind of stuff. So you can't really. To me,
I don't think I would own anything, honestly.
18 months for $10.6 million that you could stash away and not really have to pay back. To me, I could do 18 months.
That's one of the things where it says crime does pay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but that is why, because my thing about the death penalty is that because they stole that money from people. As far as I'm concerned, they stole that money from people who really needed it. Okay, Social Security, unemployment, stuff like that. That's what the death penalty is for. It's like, okay, you're getting the death penalty. Now, if you don't want the death penalty, you want to get, let's say, 20 years, you got to give half that money back. And then we take you from the death penalty to 20 years. If you give all the money back, if you give every last penny back, then you'll do 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, and he's a shitty person. No, not because you're right. He's taken from the needy, and it's not like that's a victimless crime. It's not
right.
Like it.
Yes,
but to me, it's just
white collar criminals aren't punished enough.
It's just astonishing to me that I'm saying I need somebody to help run my business, and you start out by letting me know that you are a guy I can't trust. Yeah, not that I have $10.6 million for you to steal from me, but why would I even start to think about getting it? But
because now he can steal and give to you. You know what it is? I got it. I know what it is. He needs a shell company so that he can launder the money. So your company would be like a shell company. So he would be stealing money and filtering it through Mind Dog TV, so that the IRS looks at Mind Dog TV, and Mind Dog TV has got like $14 million flowing through it, and you're seeing like $50 a month.
Exactly. Well, that's why
and the IRS says to Matt, it says here you only made $50, but we have proof that you had $14 million flow through your company. But like, what? I did what?
Yeah. To your point, I desperately need some managerial, somebody who really cares about this as a business, or just give it up, because it's a nice hobby to have. It's fun. I enjoy it. But at the end of the day, I don't want to do that. And if it's not going to turn into a real business at some point, it's just fold it up and go, stop. What am I doing here? So there's that. I know I need somebody, but finding somebody who really wants to take it on and handle all that bullshit, and not, because everybody wants to be on camera and be a contributor in that way. It's like, I got guests, I got co-hosts. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for somebody who wants to own the company, and I'll work for you. That's what I want.
But my neighbor, when he told me he was making a sitcom, I offered to work behind the scenes to help him, and he wanted me in front of the camera. He not as a star, because I said I'm not an actor. I will fuck things up for you so royally. Don't put me in front of the camera, And even the 2 close-ups I had, I think they had to shoot it like 12 times because I had like one line and I couldn't say it the same way twice.
Yeah.
But he insisted on putting me. But I was like, so no, I worked for him for free. Well, for food. Behind this, actually, I brought my own food most of the time because I'm diabetic. Behind the scenes for like 10 days, for free. And all I asked for was credit. So there are people out there, because I wasn't the only volunteer he had.
No, there are people out there. And then you find out that they ripped off unemployment for $10.6 million. There's lots. It's not that I'm not getting responses. everybody I get responding has got some reason that I can't. I shouldn't even talk to you. I'm afraid to give you my real name. I don't even want you to know who I am. That's why I'm using Craigslist, because it keeps you anonymous for a certain point, so that if you respond, they don't know who you are.
But that's why serial killers go to Craigslist, because it keeps them anonymous.
No, you're right. You're right. Absolutely right. Just before we wrap things up here, I want to share this. This is the Chapman stick that GD was talking about before.
I love those things. I really want one. But I can't afford one right now.
This will get me a little bit of a.
To me, are the bass strings, and the way I play them is typically with bass guitar, you fret with one hand and you strum with the other. With stick, you just touch. So with one hand, just by touching, I can play bass lines, chords, and with the other hand, these 5 strings, again, just by touching. So when you put both hands together, and you hear that extra sound in the background, I have synthesizer electronics retrofitted into my stick, so I can get a sound like this, or like this, or like this.
No.
Yeah.
Now, only reason I'm frustrated is because the whole point, they'll be like, say, I have this really great guitar, whatever. I have this really great acoustic guitar, classical guitar, and you start playing it, and then you hear this in the background says, and I have it adapted so that when I play it, it starts my lawnmower and drives around. No, I'm interested in the instrument itself. I don't care, because that doesn't help me. I don't have a synthesizer attached. I want to know I want to know the bass model, what the bass model can do. It's like what's that, Corona beer? People says you put a lime in it. Why? If I want lime in my beer, I'll buy lime beer. I want a beer that I can drink without having to make it taste better.
That's not why they put a lime in it. It had nothing to do with the taste. And this is what idiots who do that, Americans.
I'm told that's what I was told. Okay, go ahead.
What the reason that Corona, and Americans don't know this, and I laugh every time I see that, because they think, oh, I like the taste of the lime in it. Well, maybe that's why you like it. The reason that happened is that where Corona is from in Baja, Mexico, they have a tremendous fly problem, and the lime is meant to keep the flies from going into your beer, so you don't drink a fly. That's what it's for. It serves a functional purpose. It's not about the taste. It's about keeping the flies out of your beer. And most Americans who do it don't know that, because they went to Baja. Once they saw it, they thought, oh, I like the way it tastes. That's fine. I get it. But that's not what it's about. It's about keeping bugs out of your beer.
Now, Kev, it says no need for me to own keyboards anymore. I don't agree or disagree on that, because again, the instrumentation depends on what parts he's playing. Like I said, I had a friend of mine who had a stick, and we still had keyboards, we still had bass, we still had guitar, we still had others. It's what they're doing. There's a song, I think it's called Kurt's Rejoinder, by Brian Eno, and I think Rick Davies is playing stick on that song. But you got the rest of the song, doom 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 doom. Dum, 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 dum. But you still have all the other instrumentation that that complements it. So I wouldn't say that the stick player replaces the keyboard player, except for maybe with those arrangements.
I think no matter how much any instrument can do, you can limit it to play with a group and within a combination with other people. You don't have to use all that it can do. So yeah, no need for me. There's always a need for collaboration. Music is about bringing people together. It is what it is. So.
I mean, in our band, we had a keyboard player who, classically trained, left and right hand technique. He did the bass line, but we had a bass player. Now, sometimes they doubled up on the bass line. Sometimes they played it an octave apart. Sometimes they just had counter bass lines.
Yeah.
You know,
if you want to masturbate. I mean, there's
right.
You can, but that doesn't mean that it eliminates sex altogether. It just does for you. Whatever you want to fucking do it. That's the rule.
And the keyboard player could very well play the chords without me playing chords, but it filled it out. We played the chords with a slightly different structure because the guitar is not linear like a piano.
So I hope people will go watch the movie String Theory.
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it because if I'm going to talk to Barry, I want to be able to, not Barry, Randy. I want to be able to, Randy.
It does feel like a Barry now that you mention it.
Well, it's just that when I hear Levin, I think of Barry Levin. That's for some reason the first Levin that's in my, and I don't even know who Barry Levin is. I think he's a producer or a director or something.
I think of Tony Levin and Phil Levin, and I look like both of them.
Now, Tony Levin was a keyboard bass player. Yeah, he was very good bass player.
His brother too, and they both look like me. They look a lot like me. Bald, mustache, the whole bit.
Now, I was surprised to find out Adrian Belew was black. I did not know that until I saw him in a video.
Anything else that we need to talk about here today? We don't really need to talk about anything, right? We don't have to. We don't.
No, I'm just disappointed that they didn't reach out to you and I to be in their guitar thing.
Yeah, well, obviously they didn't know. I would have thought somebody, because I am very much hated by guitar players because I say that shit all the time, and then they get emotional about that. I'm not saying you shouldn't play guitar. I'm just saying I don't need to hear another fucking guitar solo. I think there are a lot of great guitar solos out there. I don't hate hearing the instrument. I just think it caused a lot of people to be lazy in production and just think, first chorus, bridge, guitar solo, chorus. Like, no.
Now, Matt, how do you feel about actually, I already know the answer to this because I've heard you complain about this. The extended endings to songs, like instead of going dan 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 dan, and they're like this, like I hate those,
I don't want to say hate because you said hate enough times for this program to have. We'll be number one in the hate category on Good Pods by Tuesday morning. But
comedy hate, yeah.
There are occasionally somebody is really creative with extended endings, but the amount of times that somebody is creative with it versus the amount of times that it's just self-indulgent nonsense, the proportions there are way out towards self-indulgent nonsense.
Now, I have a question about endings then. There's a song by the Beatles that ends with this one note. Dong. Do you have I actually, when I hear it, I actually want to hear the whole sustained note to the end, which I think is like 30, 45 seconds.
I think you're talking about Day in the Life. Which
yes. I knew the song I was talking about, but I didn't want to get us a copyright strike. No, but I'm just teasing. But
we already got one from that stick guy.
I didn't want us to get two strikes in one.
I
like to hear the whole thing.
Well, funny you should mention that. There was a time where I don't know, I fell asleep with the record on, and there was the phone was ringing, and I got up to ring it, and that song was ending just at that time, and I don't know, the blood rushed to my head or something, and I stood up just as that note hit, and I kind of blacked out in the middle. I remember it very clearly, like bong, and then the next thing I know, my head hit the pavement, and I was like, I gave myself a concussion on that note.
In theory, I heard once that was like the longest sustained note used or the longest sustained ending used in pop music or something like that. I didn't know if that was an official thing or that was just a radio thing.
That could be. I don't know. I had it. Yeah, longest sustained note. I don't know. Ron, here's a thing for you. With your, again, coming back hatred. I don't know, hatred, probably a strong word, for Neil Young. With all these, dramatic movies about singing, songwriting. There's one coming out about Neil Young. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I think you mentioned it, and I think, like most people, who gives a rat's ass?
A lot of people. There was a time back in the Yahoo groups days before Facebook and when people were online chatting, and it was during the beginnings of the Iraq War, and Neil Young was being very outspoken. I think he did a new record about the Iraq invasion, and I said he just striving for relevance at this point, and it's like, and then all the Neil Young cult of Neil Young lovers just came at me with all the it was like I was Iraq and they were invading my sovereignty. There's a lot of people who he's worshipped by a lot of people. I know.
Well, I figure too, like a lot of his audiences either aged out or died. So
not necessarily though.
Kids, see, some kids, I don't know how you were with your kids, Ron, but I know with the kids that I raised, their first introduction to music was the stuff that I was listening to.
Yeah.
And so it became like nostalgia. Even if some of the stuff they didn't necessarily like, they would listen to because it was comfort. It's like comfort food, comfort music.
Well, no, I mean, my parents played a lot of shitty music, and it made me. It's like, oh yeah, I don't like this shit because it is terrible.
So you don't like, sometimes you get depressed and you say, I'm going to put on some German marching music just to be nostalgic about the good old days in the trailer park.
No, and my parents are actually like, I don't, they were very stuck into their ways, and they don't like any type of like modern music. It's
this is the thing that I want to bring up. If I get this guy, whatever his name is, Struthers, a kid that I've been following on Facebook, who's really good. But I said just the other day, he's like a time machine back to 1972, and I think he's great at what he does. But you don't want me thinking great. You want him. No 66-year-old geezer boomer dude is going out supporting you and putting money behind you, or streaming you constantly, adding you to playlists, downloading your music. You want to appeal to people that are in your generation. If you're a 22-year-old and you're playing music that I'm thinking I'm a big fan of yours, you're not necessarily appealing to the people who you should be appealing to. People,
well, like I said before, like pop music right now is like it's skewing very like late 70s and early 80s.
Yeah. You don't want me as your fan. As much as I like the kid and I want to support him, having me in that position is not what he should be shooting for. He should be turning away from, not accepting my support, saying, no, that's not what I want. I want young chicks to like my music. That's what I want. I want young chicks. That's it. Anyway. Yeah, and there's a lot of that. So the Neil Young thing, I see a lot of 20-year-old guitar players who love Neil Young. They want to be and like, dude, that's your grandfather's music, and not even your parents' music at this point. It's grandpa's music. Turn away. Not that you should not listen to it or not learn something from what came before. The opportunity is for you now to push it further, not go back. Anyway, I'm on a soapbox, aren't I?
Well, I just think it's like, when I listen to Crosby, Stills, Nash, and when I listen to Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, I'm not convinced that Young added anything to the group that they were. I don't know what he did and didn't do, but I don't. I know that some people go there. Well, there's CSN and CSN and Y,
right?
And I don't know. I don't get the why. The why is so special. I don't get that still.
Yeah. Let's switch gears here. Get off the Neil Young thing. Get off Neil Young, will you? So I think I mentioned that I got invited to do a paint party for the New York Mets.
Yes.
In February.
And you got that overly simplistic picture that any idiot can do in 5 minutes, but yet you got to spend 2 hours on it. If I was listening right, if I was listening at all.
You were listening absolutely perfectly right. Okay. Here's the deal. And here, you're welcome to that, Nickel. Even like the greatest painter who ever lived would have trouble doing the painting of it's not a painting yet. They want a custom painting, and they sent a photo that they want to be able to learn. Even the greatest painter who ever lived would have big trouble doing this in 2 hours. Somebody who's never painted before, to try to teach them to do this in 2 hours. First of all, it'll take me more than 2 days to learn that, to teach myself how to do it. How am I going to teach people who've never painted before? Here's the photo. Are you ready? Are you sitting down? Paint that. Paint that in a raw beginner who's never painted anything before in their life. Paint that in 2 hours with 5 colors and 2 brushes.
You said 5 colors and 2 brushes?
5 colors, yeah, black, white, red, yellow, and blue, and 2 brushes, a 1/2-inch flat brush and a small round brush.
Okay, well, I could do that flag in about 2 hours. Because you got 50 stars, right? That flag does have 50 stars and 13 stripes.
You can't even.
Mine would just look like a brown hole with some red and blue and white.
I'm like, are you to the person who booked this? Are you out of your fucking mind? I mean, I don't know. I probably shouldn't have shared that, but
no, put it back up for 1 second. Put it back up for 1 second.
Where is it? It's here.
Now, the only thing that the one thing I would do if I were. Okay, since this is for the Mets, I can see why you'd have Citi Field, but like the Coke sign, get rid of that. There's the tops on the dugouts, solid. Don't have the writing on that. The little green squares inside and the baseball diamond, you don't need that shit. Okay, get rid of that shit. You don't even really need the flag. You know, to be honest, that you got the big flag up on the billboard or whatever it is. So get rid of that thing in the field or something. Put a guy on a tractor mower. I don't know. But the only words I see that are necessary because of where you are is Citi Field. You don't need the Coca-Cola thing. They're not a sponsor. You know.
They are probably a sponsor.
I mean, for the paint party.
But for the company that is hiring the paint party. But the person who booked this should have said, this is too much. Your expectations are too much. We could do maybe a baseball field. We could do the stadium, filling it up with all the little people and the detail in there, and all this kind of detail. You got to set an expectation. And 2 hours. Again, I could see if you were a really accomplished artist, this taking 2 months, not 2 hours.
When I was in school, I was doing a painting of a shark going through the coral reef with pilot fish attached to it, with pilot fish. And I think I spent a month on that painting, and I couldn't get the pilot fish the way I wanted to look. So by the time I was done, instead of 12 pilot fish, there was 1 pilot fish. And then by the time I was done, instead of an entire coral reef, it was like 2 rocks and 1 coral thing, just like not a whole reef, but just like 1 piece of coral. That took up like maybe a whole quarter of the painting, where the shark is supposed to like disappear into that. Yeah, because there's just too much. They're not going to get that in 2 hours.
Yeah.
I would zoom in, get rid of most of those people in the stands. Don't need all those people in the stands.
That's what whoever booked the party needed to have that conversation. I understand this is something that happens every year. I wasn't aware of that. This is like a return. Every year they have a paint party. So some of these people might have painted before, but the person doing the booking needs to say, well, you want to do a 10-hour party and maybe a little bit less complicated. But they just, we booked it. And when they book you, they don't tell you what it is until afterwards. So, well, are you available on this date in this place? And then, here's the actual location. It's in Citi Field, right? It's for the New York Mets recurring customer. And here's the painting. It's like,
now for how many people? You said 100 people?
100 people.
And the other thing that they could have done, and again, I'm just spitballing here, is have the canvas. The canvases already have the lithograph of the audience there. So the only thing they got to paint is the infield, the flag, and the sign. So there's like a lithograph of the audience, and you're just painting. But I just can't see painting all that in 2 hours. I just can't.
How long do you think it takes to pour the paint for 100 people? Five little puddles of paint for 100 people.
Okay, not counting any that you get on the phone, on a cell phone.
Yeah, well, yeah. So basically, even that's probably 15 minutes just pouring the paint, right, and giving them all the materials and stuff. at least 15 minutes for 100 people.
Are you getting an assistant?
Probably. I don't know yet.
Because an assistant might cut down on some of that, because they can go around and helping people who like, excuse me, which way do I flip the canvas? Is this right side up or is this right side up?
It's a nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. I'm already. It's a month away, and I'm already fucking losing sleep.
Well, at least they're not doing. At least they didn't actually do it on glass, so that you're painting it on a glass, and the inside of the glass is the infield, and the outside of the glass is the outfield. No, I don't know.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is, I'm gonna get fired on February 23rd because the party is the February 22nd. I'll be fired on the 23rd again, and that's the way it's gonna be. I can see it coming already. Anyway, you guys. So GD, you want to be on my show, my concert tomorrow night?
I don't know. I honestly don't. I'm not comfortable. I'm not good enough. I'm not.
We spent.
If I had known about like a week ago, so I could at least have time to practice 1 or 2 songs, sure.
The hardest thing is not the performance. The hardest thing is getting good sound and all that kind of stuff for whatever one person playing in a room, microphone and instrument, getting it all balanced out and making it sound okay. That's the thing I'm.
Well, that's the one thing I have gotten better at because of Plausible, and so the guy who does the sound has helped me pick out equipment. So I've got this really nice condenser mic that I can use in a room that has the dynamics of picking up me singing and the guitar. And that was the purpose of me buying that microphone. I only use it for that.
Right.
All right, guys, I'm going to jump. I got stuff to do. I'll see you on
jump.
I'll see you on Monday. Hopefully snowed in, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That, maybe good for ratings. Have a good weekend, Ron, and appreciate you being here. So yesterday I went and I was working with a hairdresser friend. She teaches hairdressing online, and she's got a Black Magic video switcher. The Black Magic is the camera is 4 camera angles.
Mm-hmm.
Black Magic switcher feeding into one computer. She's using OBS into Zoom, and another computer that has PowerPoint slides, and she's doing all this stuff and cutting hair on a live model without somebody being a technical director for it. And it's like, can you help me figure out what the easiest way to do this? Because it's really like, and she's using StreamYard somewhere in the process, and like, we are way overcomplicating this fucking shit. Just use StreamYard. They have I wanted so we could use layouts like in StreamYard in OBS. Can you build me those so that I have Zoom in there and the PowerPoint?
If you can do tips to people, if you can do shit without OBS, do it without OBS. I've learned OBS has been the biggest fucking nightmare. In the beginning, it was like the things that I could do with OBS was like really, really, really cool. Okay. But if I'd never heard of OBS, I would have never thought of some things as an option, and I'd have found another way to do some things. But the problem with OBS is that they're upgrades. And quite often, the upgrade will fuck with the things that you already have, and you have to relearn the OBS new version. Even if it's just a matter of the buttons that you're used to going like here to click to find it. I can find it here, click. I can find it here, click. They move it, and all of a sudden you got to learn to do something different.
Well, Ian is absolutely right with his Matt blowing a fucking gasket, because to me, you just overcomplicate. First of all, the Black Magic mixer, you got your camera angles over there. That's still feeding it in as Black Magic. So whatever you have selected there, you're not going to be able to change your cameras. Whereas in StreamYard, Zoom, whatever you use, even OBS, you can select your cameras. You can't do that once you've gone to Black Magic first. That's selecting the camera that's selected over there. So or automatically. So you got to be like doing this, doing like a mixture over here, thing over there. It's just, oh my God, why does it need to be? And how do you concentrate on doing on hairdressing while you're doing that kind of stuff.
Honestly, if I was going to do something like that, I would probably, if I was going to have multiple camera angles, I would either have like all 4 angles at once on the screen so that people can like see them, so that I don't have to change anything.
Right.
So you can see the front or the back and stuff like that. Or one camera and have the person in the chair that rotates. And so that you want to do the front, do the back, do the side, Oh,
no, it's different than it. So, but you really only need 2 cameras. And I agree with you, because it's complicated enough for me when I do the paint stuff, which is why I haven't done it before, to kind of switch between cameras. But you really only need 2 cameras, a close up and a wide shot. But the hair thing, she's got one that's like an overhead, which is a close up, and then you have the front straight on. That's all you really need. You don't need the 4 cameras and
right.
Switching back and forth and all those kind. They don't need to see all that.
And so you have to and put the 2 cameras up one side by side. And make them as big as you can. Like, you don't, like in their case, well, let me get rid of this comment. Like, they would probably make the images bigger without the background, I guess. I don't know what they're doing with it.
Yeah. So by the time I got home last night, suffice to say, I was having a fucking stroke. I mean, it's just like, I hate to be asked to do something, to help you out with something, and not be able to help you because you just overcomplicated and broken my brain. Like, and OBS is the simplest part of that thing. I would have, and you don't need Zoom and StreamYard. Pick one, and I would pick StreamYard over Zoom.
Yeah, I know that's what I did. I picked Restream over Zoom, even though Zoom is cheaper. There were things that I could do with Restream that I could not do with Zoom, and I wanted to do them with Restream. Like, I wanted a crawl. I couldn't do that with Zoom.
Right.
Now here's I have a question for you, Matt. One of the things I want is the vertical. I used to have a software that I could do my titles like a vertical scroll this way.
Yeah.
And that is like I can't find. Well, I shouldn't. I haven't looked, but because I was hoping, like I pay for editing software. I would really like if the editing software came with the vertical crawl, so you could put your titles in and they can go up like that. I would really like that.
DaVinci Resolve has that, and it's free. It pretty much works like Adobe Premiere, and Adobe Premiere has that, but it costs money. But DaVinci Resolve is a free download, and that you can just vertically scroll. Just put your text in, and it automatically scrolls it. And you can set the time on it, and how fast you want it to go, and all that kind of stuff.
What did you call it?
DaVinci, like in Leonardo, Resolve.
Okay, that DaVinci. Okay, not Fred DaVinci. Okay,
right. Yeah, Fred DaVinci.
Yeah,
like Jared Bellucci. Come on, Carmine Bellucci. I get it. Anyway, yeah. It's time to wrap this fucking thing up. I have to go to a business meeting today. I have too many business meetings for me, and I'm not good. Again, if you know anybody who wants to be a partner or be the owner of Mind Dog TV, and I'll work for them, let me know, because I'm at the point where I just can't keep up with answering all the emails, following up with people book and don't book, and where all the business administration part of this stuff is wearing me out. And then chasing down. Well, we don't. What is it? Obese balls of stress. Chasing down the sponsors for their money too is a pain in the ass. But we don't want. This is Kevin's obviously confused. He thinks GD is somehow impersonating the Reverend. I don't know where he gets that impression. Improvising Reverend. No. They're just friends. I don't know.
Yeah, and the Reverend doesn't sing. This is so funny, man.
It does.
It's funny to me. It's funny to me. There's like the Reverend sang a Christmas song, kind of. But he didn't really sing it. He spoke it. Silent Night, but he changed the words. Okay. I went to do that song at Ron's open mic. I did like 3 Christmas songs, 3 Christmas parodies for his last open mic before Christmas. And the song I was doing the Silent Night song that the Reverend did, and I couldn't sing it anymore. I could only speak it. I could only speak it like the Reverend. I ruined that song for me, so even I couldn't sing it anymore.
That's a damn shame.
Yeah.
All right. We're getting out of here. So I'll be doing my Edward Snowed In concert tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Tune in.
Good luck. I'll probably be out fighting with the fucking snow or salting or something, or I have to maybe.
You should have tested your snowblower.
Well, I'm gonna go out and see if I can fix it. But people, turn on your radio.
Oh yeah.
listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me.